Quiet's driving me insane. Silence rattles in my brain. Yeah, I gotta get away. Always waiting for the phone, so I built my towers tall, wandering through these empty halls. Break the cycle now. Walls are coming down. I gotta make it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look my fear right in the eye. I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive. I gotta save me from myself. This emptiness, it hurts like hell. My good intentions let me down. I keep getting in my way. My stubborn pride will dig my grave. Leaves it behind with every step I take. Yeah, cycle now. Walls are coming down. I gotta make it out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Look my fear right in the eye. I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive.
Hello, hello, welcome. It's a Sunday. That means it's a no face cam day. And I get to just hang out and play video games and not worry about, like, bathing. Just like all of the celebrities who are admitting to not bathing ever, which is pretty yucky. Hello. Hi. Casually Needy. Thank you very, very much.
I love
Holy
you so
shit.
much, and I'm so happy I've
What
been
the hell?
here for so long. I've never loved a stream community more.
Oh my
They're all
gosh.
beautiful and amazing. And thank you, Brian, for creating this stellar platform where we can all be us.
Yo, Casually Needy, that is such a nice message. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you get that out of this community. Thank you for freaking sticking around for a full year. That is such a long time. Congrats on evolving into a Jolteon. That's super, super cool. Chat, can we get some pride spam for both that resub as well as Mad Lad Jacob? Jacob, 30 months. Oh, sheesh, indeed. Holy crap. Can we please get some pride spam for both of those amazing milestones right there? That is so flattering that both of you have stuck around for so long. I really do appreciate your support. I'm glad that people like sticking around here, hanging out, and honestly, Casually, the fact that you've never loved a stream community more, like, that means a ton. That's really cool of you. Thank you. Use a calendar? No, I tell my days of the week by no face cam streams. Honestly, I won't even lie. I had my day off yesterday. So for those of you who don't know, I take Wednesdays and Saturdays off now.
16 months.
Oh my God, 16.
That's a lot of months.
That is a lot of months, Cole.
Can't wait to watch all my anxiety get power washed away.
Yes, we are going to power wash away anyone's anxiety. We are going to hang out, chill, just talk about whatever, and just vibe tonight. Cole, thank you so much for the 16 months. That's super cool of you. But yeah, yesterday, was my day off, and I like spent most of the day just like hanging out with Morgan and playing Final Fantasy 14, which I've been addicted to recently, which is honestly should be less of a surprise to me. I'm like a lifelong Final Fantasy fan and MMORPG fan, so like you know, Final Fantasy 14 is both those things. And then like Mika convinced me to start playing it, so I started playing it, and I was like, I'm stunned at how much I can't pry myself away from that game. It's really fun. It's like my favorite game right now, and I cannot stop playing it. By the way, thank you so much for the hype train, everyone. But yesterday I was just playing like Final Fantasy 14, and I literally thought it was Wednesday for like half the day. I was hanging out with Morgan. I just had these like brief moments where I'd randomly be like, oh man, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm going to have to do like this, and this. And then I was like, wait, no, it's Saturday today. And I like catch myself and I'd remind myself, no, it's fucking Saturday. It's not Wednesday. And then I'd forget like 2 hours later and do it all over again. So just in constant existential like crisis mode. But yes, today is actually Sunday and we are doing no face cam. So we're going to be doing some Power Wash Sim. Thank you so much, Why Not, for the 8-month resub, by the way. That's really nice of you, kicking us into level 2 of our scam train. If you give any money to this community, by the way, I do use it for stupid things. I buy takeout, I buy pizza, I buy Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I buy cosplay supplies for like Girbeagly cosplay and shit. It goes to dumb things, okay? So I just want to let you know, anyone who's generous enough to support the stream in the way that you have, thank you very much. Thank you for fueling my dumb hobbies. Hey, what's up, Margot? Hello, everyone. Just wanted to pop in and wish everyone a lovely week. Now I'm going to yeet myself out of here. All right. Well, hey, have a great start to your week. Thank you so much even for dropping by to say hello. We appreciate that. Tomorrow my uni classes start again. Blah. Well, Juno, guess what? Uni is one of those things where I totally understand it is very challenging, both socially and academically, etc. But it's a very short amount of time in the overall span of your life. You can get through it. I got through it. I'm a fucking idiot. I literally live stream for my job. Like, I'm a moron. So if I could get through it, you can get through it. I believe in you. You're going to do great. I'm bleaching my hair again, guys. Wish me luck. Good luck, Teddy. Thank you. It said 8 months 3 times now. Wait, did it? What the hell? Wait, so are you technically, have you been subbed here for 11 then? Why not? That's so weird that it's doing that. Firefly, thank you for the 100 bits. It's an excellent use of the money. Don't enable me. Do not enable me. Don't do that. Thank you very much for the support, though. I only know what day it is because I have therapy on Tuesday, so every day of the week is either Tuesday or not Tuesday. I mean, mood. Oh my gosh, this rhyme. Spitting bars. Yo, Lizzie, thank you so much for the 500 bits. That is so much. Thank you very, very much for that. That is a lot. Thank you for that generosity. 2 was in one stream and then again. Wait, 2 was in one stream and then again? Oh, the 8 months thing? That's so weird. Why is it doing that? All right. Well, in my heart, you've been here for almost a year then. So I appreciate that. That's psycho. Why is Twitch being weird? It's so strange. Anyway, oh my god, never mind. Not anyway, because apparently we're gonna be talking.
It's been a bit. Tis final season, so I'm stressed and running
Oh my gosh.
sleep Gerb toilet. Also, I got a job for my internship this fall. VPOG. Okay, long message. I lurk now, Gerb.
That wasn't even that long.
Love sign.
It was actually just a good message. Plugger says what Bree. Congrats on all of that good news you just shared there. The job for your internship, that's very, very cool that you're getting that. Thank you for 30 freaking months here. That is a long time to stick around for anything. French Jackies, thank you for the 5 months. Almost to that 6 month. That's crazy. That is wild. I'm like actually blown away by how long people stick around here. I was thinking about this earlier today because I was watching another streamer and I was like seeing like all these like 30 month subs, like 24 month subs, and he was like just like, hey, thanks so much for sticking around, and was being really nice to them. And I was like, wow, that's like a really long time for his subs to have stuck around. And then I had to like take a step back and be like, what the shit? Like, holy crap. Some of you have been here for like 4 years as a sub, almost. I think we have a couple people in like the 46, 47 month range. Like, I'm the same way. Like, I have so freaking many people in this community who have been subbed since like the first day I was a Twitch affiliate. That is crazy. And so appreciated. Thank you very, very much for that. Can we actually get some pride spam for the 30-month resub as well from Blogger Says What Bree? That is a long time. 2.5 years. Yeah, seriously. That is so much time to be part of anything. I'm flattered. I'm genuinely flattered. I am so happy. I put this message up on the Discord earlier today. I wasn't able to stick around because last week was like kind of shitty, as I've shared a couple times. So some things got pushed back, some things got delayed. I was a little bit behind on work stuff, so I had to work on that. But I dropped by the Discord quick, and I put up a big message about how much this community means. Every single person who's a part of this, you helped build up what we have right now, which is monumental. It is a phenomenal amount of like cool shit that goes on in this community, and I'm unbelievably appreciative of every one of you for that. Those of you who've stuck around for like years at this point, like, holy shit, that's like so cool of you. Like, thank you very, very much. I haven't been here that long, but I do not plan on leaving anytime soon or at all. Lizzie Bears, that's so nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. Again, fingers crossed that I don't get canceled. Hopefully we'll not have me do something like be taken over by mind snatchers and have my body say something totally uncharacteristically like horrific. And then I get canceled, and then everyone leaves. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I know, very realistic type of like risk to take. But, you know, I'm going to continue to stream publicly, and if I do get mind snatched, body snatched, and replaced with some sort of evil replicant version of me that gets canceled, this is my apology ahead of time. So, yeah, that's my my pre-apology or pre-cancellation apology for everybody. I don't know. Are you going to steal the Bass Pro Shop pyramid in the style of the Despicable Me opening? Oh my God, there's so much going on with that sentence that I'm in psychic pain at the moment. I'm in mental and emotional pain from reading that. What a bunch of references to make. I do love that the Bass Pro Shop pyramid has become like a community meme to a degree.
Can't stay, but it's been
Big
so long
Maniac,
since
7
I've
months.
been
What the
streaming,
hell?
just
Thank
had to
you.
say hi and heart.
That's really nice of you. Thank you so much for sticking around for 7 months using Prime. I know you only get one of those a month, so thank you for using it here. Completely understandable if you have to duck out. I'm starting kind of late. It is what it is. I've been doing a couple, like sprinkling in a couple like earlier streams here and there. We're going to get back to that. Like I said, that will become the new norm, just to give people a heads up for that kind of thing. But I appreciate anyone who's even able to drop by, especially like if you're dropping by to like do a resell, like what the hell? That's really nice. Thank you very, very much. Oh no, the Twitch Mind Snatchers have won. Yes, they have defeated me. I hope that doesn't happen. Gonna mind snatch Brian and endorse Jeff Bezos so everyone hates you. I mean, technically, you don't even have to do that. I'm literally streaming on his streaming platform. Like Amazon, for those of you who don't know, like they own this platform. They own Twitch. Jeff Bezos makes a ridiculous amount of money from this product. And I just want to say right now, he's a piece of shit. This is probably why I'm never going to get Twitch front page again, by the way, is I'm regularly talking shit about Twitch while I'm on Twitch. like almost like weekly at some point. I like bring up something that I hate about like not the platform per se, because like this is really like the most stable like of the platforms out there, but how the platform is run, the sort of culture that's surrounding like streaming in general, really just like the logistical side of shit is so messy and annoys me. But you guys know this. I rant about this shit all the damn time. Dudes, I gotta have like micro cuts on my head or some shit. This burns. Oh, from the the hair dyeing. Also, you gotta think about it this way, Teddy. Your head is just like, it's covered in like so many pores and things like because of your hair, like where your hair follicles grow out and stuff. But your head is also like pretty sensitive skin for the most part. So there's probably just that going on. Like a lot of people's like head skin is a little bit more sensitive than like in, like your arm or something. I'm loving all the positivity and love being shared, but I have to get back to that shit. Thanks for the brain break. I don't know what you had to take a brain break for, but I'm so glad we could be here for you in some kind of way. Again, like I mentioned over on the Discord, I'm like really happy that like we have built what we built. We have become what we've become. A place that people can drop by and share in some like good, like just energy, supportive community stuff, and that's so cool. That's like so consistent, and it's sort of like what we're becoming known for. So, yeah. Windful Art, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Rye, hello, hi, welcome to the stream as well. Guys, we're gonna be doing some more Power Wash Sim tonight. So before we get going, if you have good news, it is good news time. If you have good news that's big or small, as long as it's something that can be comfortably enjoyed by everyone in chat, go ahead, drop some in the chat. Make sure to note that I will not be able to read all of it because there's a lot more of you than there is of me. Plus, during these sort of like no face cam streams, I'm just sort of vibing and doing my own thing and not getting overwhelmed by chat as much as I normally do. But thank you very, very much for being here. Thanks for sharing your good news. If you guys are here and you see someone's good news get passed over, make sure that you wish people, congrats on that good news. Good news, my birthday is tomorrow. Yo, Yamanaka, happy early birthday to you. I think you had mentioned before you're on, like, West Coast, so I'm assuming, like 5 hours, or, like 4.5, I guess, closer to. We probably won't be streaming when it crosses the midnight threshold for you. So happy early birthday. I like seeing chat lighten up with some happy early birthdays and everything. But thank you so much for being a part of the community, Yamanaka. And in case I don't stream tomorrow, because I have been taking the occasional Monday off and we miss it, yes, again, happy birthday. Like, I really mean that. You've been a mainstay in this community, a very regular viewer, and I appreciate you a ton. Good news, I went to a queer speakeasy today, and it was amazing, and I got to meet some really awesome people. That's awesome. That's really cool. I think it's, like, really, really awesome that sort of queer spaces are just becoming more commonplace like that. That's, like, really, really cool. Good news, I start college for the first time ever next week, and also next week is my first concert since 2019. Well, I hope that you're staying safe and you're having fun during that, Rye. And good luck with college. A lot of people going to college and going off to school and getting back to sort of like, I guess, like regular life things, quote unquote. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope that you have very good experiences and make some good memories. Good news, my voice is definitely deeper than it was pre-tea, and I can feel my Adam's apple even if I can't quite see it yet. Max, that is so wonderful that you're able to find some like changes like that happening. That's so cool. Again, I'm always so thrilled to hear your updates about this process. We're so happy for you. That is wonderful. Good news, my family moves a week from tomorrow. We packed most of our shit, and I'm really excited to be somewhere new. Hey, Cole, new environment, new beginnings. That kind of like sort of fresh slate is a great feeling. Nothing but good luck to you. I hope that you have a wonderful time. You make some new friends, have some great experiences, and you're able to share some of that with us here. But that's awesome. Very, very cool. I'm glad to hear that you're all packed up. That's like the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to like moving, is just getting everything organized like that. And then comes the unpacking. Morgan, I think Morgan was mentioning on one of her streams, I think it was either, I don't think it was her Saturday stream. I think it was her Wednesday stream. I think she was mentioning how we still have, like, we moved in here like almost 4 years ago or something like that. Or it was like 4 years. Jesus, how long have I been here? But we still have shit in boxes from when we moved that we haven't unpacked yet, like down in our basement. Because we moved in, we were exhausted from moving, and we were like, oh, well, this is why we have a basement. It's storage. We'll just throw all of our shit down in the basement. And then we did, and then, like, some of it wasn't important enough to, like, ever unpack. It's been 4 years. I said that yesterday. Jesus. So this is what I was talking about. I'm glad Morgan's here to correct me because, like I mentioned, I literally spent, like, half of yesterday thinking it was fucking Wednesday. Just because it was a day off for me, and I only get Wednesdays and Saturdays off normally.
Hello, everyone.
And I thought it was Wednesday for most of Saturday. I just, like, I was like, oh, tomorrow I got to do so much shit because it's Thursday. It's the middle of the week. It was absolutely not it. Holy shit. Jonathan, thank you for the 15-month resub. That's so nice of you. Thank you very, very much for that resub. That's a long time. Good news, I gained a lot of confidence in my writing recently, and with my friend's encouragement, I'm going to try to pitch the plot of my Scooby-Doo script to Warner Brothers. Lizzie, I hope that goes really, really well. That's cool. That's really awesome. I'm glad to hear. I mean, the important part of that is you have a really supportive friend, and I love hearing about that kind of thing. As someone who has had a little bit of experience with writing scripts for things, I will let you know the process is pretty arduous, and I hope that you're able to meet up with like some sort of rapper agent that will be really good to you and help facilitate that process. My friend and I wrote 2 movie scripts together, 2.5 movie scripts together, with the help of one of my friends who actually works in Hollywood and worked directly under Stan Lee as one of his like editor proofers, and she was good friends with me because I went to college with her, and we were like really good friends because of college. And then she landed that like dream job working for him, and she knew that we were into writing movies just for fun because we were like, why the fuck now? Let's write a couple screenplays. And we wrote a couple screenplays, and they apparently at some point ended up on Stan Lee's desk, and he got to like look at them, which is really cool when you think about sort of like the impact he had in Hollywood and in media in general. But he didn't pick them up because apparently like the producer that he was working with wanted three scripts for treatments, and we only had the 2.5 done. And for whatever reason, we just never finished the third one. We kind of got like a little bit defeated because like he sort of like, he didn't pick apart, but she, my friend, sort of like critically like picked apart some of the stuff we were working on a little bit. And then we had just life come up and we got very, very busy and we weren't able to ever finish the third one. Kind of wish we did though. And there was no guarantee that they were going to pick up anything. It just, to get them to the other producer, we would have had a third script all the way written to even be considered. But Stan looked at them and thought they were great and funny and fun. So that was kind of neat. Good news, I've been really enjoying my essay topics for all of my psychology classes thus far today. I wrote about cults, so that's cool. Wow, that's so cool. I covered cults and things like that when I was in psychology as well, like radicalized groups and whatnot. So that's really cool. It is so interesting to learn about that stuff from a former psych major. Really cool story, Brian. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. It is like, I mean, I've shared it before. I've talked about it before, like, but that is something that like I get to sort of take with me the rest of my life of like, hey, even though my writing didn't get picked up for like a movie or anything like that, like it was on the desk of legendary comic book writer and Hollywood producer Stan Lee. That's kind of fucking cool. I'm pretty proud of that, honestly. Like that's a pretty big, cool like achievement. Stan Lee x Girbeagly collab in our hearts. Right. The thing that like it could still happen. Here's the thing. I think the movies that we wrote were like, I think there's like 2 of them could maybe still work. But the third one was like very much sort of like a meme-y idea that was like a popular genre or subgenre of movies at the time, but I don't think like would be as popular now just because it's like so corny and so overdone at this point that like people wouldn't be into it. But there are two of the ideas that I'm sort of like still holding on like back pocket with it. But the one movie idea we had to do with zombies, and we thought that one was really fun. It was like really, really, like at the time it was a really unique spin on the zombie genre, but very similar, like at least thematically, like very similar movies have already been made with that theme. So that's like the one that, like, even though I enjoyed writing it and enjoy the fact that like I have a copy of it printed out somewhere here in the house, I think that if we were to pitch movies again, that would be the one that would not get picked up. The last script I wrote was when the working title for Endgame was thought to be Fallen Heroes, but I lost the file. But I'm really excited about Scooby. That's really cool that you're trying to break in with an established IP. Things like Marvel are a little bit harder to do, just because they're like very particular about like the writers and directors and producers that they work with, because A, it's Disney and they're fucking control freaks like that, and B, those established like franchises, they always like draw from their like available stable of talent. But something like Scooby-Doo, like that has sort of like passed hands a couple times and is like a little bit more open to like fresh faces on the writing scene. I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool idea. Like Zombieland? No, think more like shit. What's the name of the Dead Snow? You know, like in Dead Snow, it was like a bunch of like everyday people fighting. I think it was like it was like zombie Nazis. But ours wasn't zombie Nazis. It was just like a similar idea to like people fighting like era-specific zombies. And at the time, it would have been like, whoa, this is like so cool. This is like a really cool idea. Because like that's the thing about Dead Snow is like that's already been done in like the Call of Duty franchise. Like zombie Nazis has been done to death in so many different things. But sort of that like our idea was not zombie Nazis. For those of you getting confused in chat, I already see two of you. Our idea was not zombie Nazis. Dead Snow, though, is an established zombie franchise that it's like people fighting zombie Nazis. This is probably the most I've ever said the word Nazi on stream. But Dead Snow was like a weird sort of like bizarre, I don't know, like it was like an era-specific niche zombie subgenre. And then our idea was also like era-specific that had to deal with zombies, but was like a little bit more like action movie. Like it was less zombie movie, more just like balls to the wall, weird, like crazy action shit. It was just like a very weird premise, and it would have done really well back when we wrote it. Annoyed millennial zombies. Yeah, it was annoyed millennial zombies who were bitching about their coffee shops and that the Lumineers aren't played on the radio anymore, and good lord. But it was just like it was a really cool idea at the time, but I think like just based off of how oversaturated the zombie genre is and like the sort of like every angle that's been taken in it already, like the movie would not stick out at all anymore the way that it would have back then. But the other two ideas are still really cool, really, really great, and sort of like timeless horror movie ideas, because that's what we were writing at the time, were horror movies. And it was when Stan Lee was in charge of POW Entertainment, which was like his spin-off thing from Marvel after he like sort of like stepped down from working with Marvel. So POW Entertainment was sort of like branching out and looking into stuff that wasn't like just comic booky, but sort of had the spirit of like Marvel in it. And so they were like very interested in like reading our like sort of campy horror movie ideas, which was like awesome. It was like really, really cool. Bold assumption that chat won't band together to make the movie even more lucrative than Avatar. Just like buy like 20 movie tickets, and it's like, is your party arriving late? No, I'm just supporting the person who made the movie. But it was cool. It was a cool experience. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna play some Power Wash Sim, and we're gonna talk about whatever. Hey, what's up, Chronic? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. Austin, I read your message, but I didn't say hi properly. It's nice to see you here as well. But we're going to go ahead and load up some power washing because I am definitely addicted to this game. And that's okay because anything that is not Final Fantasy 14 right now is probably like healthy for me. To just break things up a little bit, you know? Just to break things up a little bit here. Oh my gosh. Although, I won't lie, guys. These, like, no face cam, like, chill streams, there's a good chance that I'm going to play some Final Fantasy 14 during one of them at some point. So, yeah. Not to ramble on one thing that was briefly mentioned, but you will get really burnt out if you stop working on an idea because it's not fully original. Yeah, that is something that, like, affects a lot of, it sort of takes the wind out of the sails of a lot of creatives, is, like, if you're working on something and you're like, oh, man, like, I don't feel like this is original. Like, that is sort of like a, like, it's always like a moral blow in some way. Oh, yeah, shit, we got the treehouse. This is going to be fun. And it's like a mental boom. At the end of the day, nothing's, like, really original, and everything's pretty derivative in media from each other. So, like, sort of just make what you want to make. But back at the time, like, it was one of those things where it was less of that, and it was more of, like, the logistics of even getting our stuff in front of people. So, yeah, it's like, just do what you want to do, you know? And if someone calls you out for, like, plagiarizing or something like that, like, that's more of a them issue, because I'm sure whatever their favorite franchise is inspired. Because that's the other thing. As long as it's not, like, outright plagiarism, like, if you're inspired by something, like, that's every fucking thing that's ever been made, you know? So, like, just do your own thing. Figure your own thing out that, like, feels right. And, like, I mean, like, look at it this way. not my favorite franchise out there by any stretch of the imagination, but the 50 grades that the teacher gave you over the lifetime of your schooling, they were all bad. You failed. Anyway, the 50 Shades of Grey franchise was alleged, or is, like, confirmed to be, like, Twilight fanfic, right? Like, that was, like, Twilight fanfic that got, like, mega weird and fucking sexual and shit, right? Like, that was, like, the whole point of that franchise. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can sort of, like, reason out, as long as you're not, like, just ripping off, like, story arc for story arc, something else, like, that what you're doing is just inspired by other stuff, you know? If you don't have ill intention, and if you're not trying to, like, ride off the success of something else, like, wasn't Twilight an MCR fanfic? No, that is something weird that got fucking picked up by Gen Z. I don't understand this one. Morgan and I were talking about this the other day. It's not MCR fanfic. Jesus God. All right, so let me dispel this right now, because for some reason this is, because of TikTok, this is spread like fucking wildfire everywhere. But Twilight was inspired partially by My Chemical Romance, but if you go back and you actually watch Stephanie Meyer's interviews or read them, she mentions New Moon specifically, and how, like, Jacob acts in New Moon is inspired by her listening to MCR, not the entire franchise. In fact, if you go back and you listen to those interviews about the first movie and the first book and things like that, Muse, if we're going to talk about music and bands that were, like, directly fucking involved in, like, the movies and, like, mentioned in the books and shit, are way more prevalent in the first one. And that's the whole thing, is, like, much like concept albums for bands or story arcs in TV shows, there are, like, different inspirations that came in at different points during, like, the process. So, again, and here's Morgan. Yeah, she knows way more about this than me. I'm pretty much just regurgitating everything she just told me. It's major misinfo that's not true. It isn't even inspired by MCR, just that she listened to the song Famous Last Words when she wrote New Moon. Yeah, so there you go. There you have it. So it's one of those things where I always like when people like spread things on TikTok that are like unknown facts or whatever. Yes, exactly, Anna. Yeah, like if you go back and you read any of Stephanie Meyer's like interviews, she literally says like she literally had a dream that inspired her to write Twilight. So again, one of those things. Sure, could it have been affected by what she was into musically at the time and listening to at the time? Absolutely. But the thing about like TikTok, guys, Google is a free fucking website. You can look this stuff up in like 15 seconds. And it's not that you were lied to, Rye. It is people on TikTok will take a fact that's like sort of obscure and they'll exaggerate it. And it becomes a game of fucking telephone or the new game Gartic Phone. And it gets exaggerated and changed into something so different than what it was. That like people like freak out and they're like, oh my God, did you hear this fact? Stephanie Meyer was actually a huge My Chemical Romance fan and she also wrote Twilight. So the next person hears that and goes, oh, she was a MCR fan and she wrote Twilight. She must have written Twilight because of MCR. And then the next person is like, oh my God, Twilight's actually MCR fanfic from the Black Parade and Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Whoa. And then the next person's like, oh my God, they're actually, all the characters are just different fucking egos of Gerard Way. And then like, that's how fucking like the game of telephone works, right? TikTok is very much like that. It is a fantastic place to learn about the sort of jumping in entering point about a lot of different like cool topics out there. But the issue is that nobody fact checks. So either people who want a little bit more clout than the person they're stitching or have misinterpreted what was said in the TikTok they watched, regularly exaggerate things and stretch the truth. And then we get this huge, gigantic flood of misinformation. I fact check fucking everything I read or hear online because of this exact reason. MCR was the cast of Twilight. I mean, hey, you know, back then they were wearing enough like eyeliner and stuff. They would have fit right in. It would have been amazing. I would have seen that movie way more if they were in it, honestly. So yeah, where's the MCR walking out with Pride Flag's copy pasta when you need it? Oh man. As much as I love MCR, them turning down writing a song for Twilight because they don't sell out for money, but now slap their licensing on random products is amusing to me. Yeah, it's so funny. Morgan and I were also talking about this again. We're going to do another streamo at some point where we talk about, like, I don't know, bands and the fucking culture of the scene back when we were in our 20s and earlier. Like, sellout culture was such a fucking weird mentality at the time. Like, absolutely. If there's someone who's, like, forcing a product and, like, forcing, like, self-advertising just, like, every 5 seconds, like, you know, you raise an eyebrow about that. That's just the way that it works. But the thing is, like, bands were so weirdly committed for no fucking reason. Because here's the thing. I did some touring when I was making music, and I lived in a van for, like, a couple weeks when I was touring with some friends up and down the East Coast for, like, a 2-week stint. And it sucked ass. Oh, it smelled bad. You eat shitty fast food. You go, man, I wish we had enough money for a tour bus because this sucks. But every single, like, band back in the day used to do this thing where it's like, oh, man, did you hear? Those guys just signed with Columbia. Bunch of fucking sellouts, dude. Oh, man, did you hear? That band just put their song on a soundtrack. What a bunch of fucking sellouts, dude. Their integrity about the music is lost. They've lost their way. It was just so fucking ridiculous. And it's like, okay, cool, dude. So you get to live in a van. Like, that sucks. Tell me if some dude like came up and was like, hey, I can offer you, you know, X number of seats filled at this festival for you and you get this much cut. And you don't have to fucking drive there in your, like, fucking Ford Windstar with 6 dudes crammed inside. Like, that's that's a pretty good deal. But we'll talk more about that during Streamo. We'll talk more about that during Streamo. God, I'll never forget the discourse when All Time Low signed with Interscope. Yeah, that's ridiculous. All Time Low, and it's not like All Time Low was like brand new to the scene. Like All Time Low's been around for fucking a long time at this point. I remember when they were the new kids on the block, but when they became like very sincerely ingrained into like the power pop punk scene, they made a big impact. Like everybody fucking remembers like their music, you know, and like who was a part of that. I think it's great they got signed in a huge way. I think that's awesome for them. I'm very, very happy for them. But it was like this weird, like almost self-righteous, like, oh, we don't accept money for our music, like mentality back in the day. And it was so goddamn weird. It was just like, I am just absolutely floored by the number of like people I met who just had this holier than thou attitude about accepting money for real work that was being put in and then judging other bands for doing so. It was just so fucking bizarre. They can put their music in a weird movie like House of Wax, but not Twilight, which has the same general audience. Okay, bestie. All right, true comparison being drawn. I love that. Jinx, what's up? Hello and goodbye. I hope you have a lovely, morning there for you. Thank you so much for chilling with us. Seriously, you're great. We appreciate you a lot. Can't be big and punk at the same time, and that's why Green Day doesn't exist. Sarcasm, yeah, right? Or like Blink-182 or any of the groups that like even helped popularize the movement. Like a lot of people did. Like I was listening to Blink-182 since I was in middle school when they were on Buddha Records, some unknown tiny label at the time, and fucking like people gave them so much shit when they started having their singles played on the radio and MTV and stuff like that. Like, super crazy. I strongly believe that the YouTube adpocalypse shaped our views on selling out. So many more people understand now that if you can get the bag, you need to get by. Right. I literally was just, I was talking about earlier, watching a different streamer. He was talking about like brand deals with his audience, like very, very transparently. And I chimed in and I was like, I chimed in and I was like, yeah, it's not always about the money, but sometimes it has to be, and that's okay. Like when I do sponsored gigs, you guys are unbelievably like supportive, and it's so nice and it's so cool that like people are willing to like, or even like buying my merch, stuff like that. Like that's like super, super nice of you. Like thank you very much for like always like getting behind like all the sponsored work I do and shit like that, because that does help me pay the bills. It allows me to keep the lights on and to keep paying for my internet and stuff like that. And that's like really, really cool. And I appreciate it beyond words. But like, even like 4 years ago, if I was doing half the stuff I was doing now, like, oh yeah, guys, check out my fan house, check out my merch, check out, or like, yeah, I got this sponsored gig that like pays me every week. It's really cool. People would fucking criticize me for that, which is like super bizarre because at the end of the day, it's still work that's being put into a product that is like being made that should, or a service of some sort. And, it's okay to ask for money for your work. And it's not like anyone is being forced to pay that money. And if you feel like you are, that's something you have to work out internally and maybe talk to a specialist about. Because if you have that like FOMO of like, oh, I'm missing out, like I have to be a Twitch sub or something like that. You don't. It's there's a reason that like a lot of this stuff is like offered for free. Stuff like merch, that's just an optional, fun, cool thing. Yeah, it's a cool item, a commemorative thing that you can get, but you don't have to. At the end of the day, you don't have to. But it is so interesting that you mentioned the adpocalypse, because that really is, Anna, when like the big shift happened, where people became a lot more understanding. I feel like the audiences out there became like a lot less naive and black and white about how creators, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, artists, whoever make their money. And I'm really happy that happened. I am. So yeah. Brian is a sellout. Never understand why people are so vitriolic. Or wait, Yeah, did I say that right? I always say vitriol incorrectly. I add like a one less syllable that is meant to be in there. I think I said that right this time. Towards someone who wants to pay the bills with their passions just comes off as jealousy to me. Maybe jealousy or maybe just like a misunderstanding of what that person actually does. Like when I have people be like, oh, why don't you get a real job? I'm always like, hey, well, I have worked real jobs for like fucking a long time. Like probably longer than like that person's been in school. And the other part of it is like that it's very clear they don't understand like what it is that I do and like the service or the thing that I offer. And again, at the end of the day, is this more akin to like if I was working like a waiter's job where people are like, you know, with live streaming especially, it's like you guys are subbing and giving tips and stuff like that. That's more along the lines of like what live streaming is. Sure, but that's not a fake job. You wouldn't like go to a restaurant and be like, hey, waiter,
Punched me in the
why don't you get a real job?
Longer than my
I'm not going to
last
tip you,
relationship.
by the way. Good luck on like $2.50 an hour. Thank you very, very much, Sandy Phantom. That is the saddest second line to a resub that anyone has ever written in my chat, I think. But thank you for the 5-month resub. Jesus. Do people forget entertainment is also a job? Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like it is work at the end of the day. And like no one is like I'm not entitled to X amount of money for doing it. And none of you should ever feel pressured. But like when I work directly with like companies and stuff, which I do literally weekly, I am entitled to some of their money. Absolutely. For that like sponsored work or deliverables that they want, you know, created. So yeah. I wish you all long-lasting relationships in the future. Hell yeah, I like that energy. Anyway, we got Hunter Load says to clean the treehouse. You probably think I built this filthy treehouse deep in the forest because I've let myself go, but actually it's because I'm searching for the missing link. Oh my god, are we going to meet like fucking Bigfoot in this game? Problem is, whilst I'm out looking for them, and even sometimes in the dead of night, pranksters come all the way out here hollering unearthly noises and chucking stinky mud around. Is that the actual missing link, though? It's like hollering and throwing poop? Maybe? The Toxic Palette by Girbeagly. If a company ever wanted to like team up to do like a makeup palette, I 100% would be on board with that. A few times now, unless it's Morphe. Fuck Morphe. A few times now, I've slid down the steps and clean off the edge. Of course, I've got the reflexes of a mongoose, so I always land on my feet and never break no bones, but it's probably time to get the place hosed down all the same. Thanks, Hunter. All right, groovy. Let's get started. This is a big one. I'm excited. Hear me out. Girbeagly brand beagles. I'll do you one better. Just adopt beagles from shelters and name them Girbeagly. There you go. Easy. All right, cool. Look at this place. Oh my god, this is actually going to be magnificent. This is actually going to be incredible. Future film. Oh, this is his camera to detect Bigfoot. I can turn it with the power of water. Oh my god, that is fantastic. It's actually amazing. Am I fucking up the footage? Can you imagine if he actually caught Bigfoot on this and then I messed it up by shooting the camera? That'd be a cool, like, sub-goal. Not sub-goal. It's side quest in this. Not sub-goal, like a sub-goal for Twitch. But that'd be a cool side quest. It would be like, I have to, like, defend this from Bigfoot or something, or I have to capture Bigfoot. That'd be neat. All right. Oh my god, there's so much to clean here. This one's gonna take forever. Look at this. It's glowing like it's Chernobyl. That is crazy. All right, I'm gonna do like little things that make me feel accomplished first. Because that's the way my brain works and gets satisfaction and validation. Is hearing that ding noise, even if it's only like 1% done. I feel like I accomplished something. So, yeah. Sub goal at 2,000 subs. We go outside and find Bigfoot. Oh, that's... We all go for a community Bigfoot hunt. I do an IRL stream out in the woods. That'd be insane. Jordan and I were talking about that the other day. D-Tune. For those of you who don't know my friend D-Tune, please check him out. I think he's probably streaming right now. If I go longer than him tonight, or shorter than him tonight, we'll probably rate him. But we were talking about that because he wants to start doing a couple like IRL streams. And he was like, dude, it's so expensive and like logistically complicated to get shit set up. You have to buy like the crazy like hotspot streamer backpack and shit. I don't know if I'd be able to commit to that. We power wash Bigfoot once we find him. I mean, he's probably stinky, although maybe he bathes in the woods. Even if he doesn't bathe, that's as much as some celebrities, apparently. So, according to the recent news about celebs. Oh, yeah. Ding. Not even 1% yet? We're not in the 1% yet. We need more money. We need to get into the 1%. How many of you will work for me without benefits? Then I'll be in the 1%. There's actually nothing I want more than to see you and D-Tune collab. I mean, we've played games on Twitch together, but I'm gonna go visit him at some point in the, I don't know, sometime before the end of the year. Since he's relatively close in the U.S. We're both East Coasters, so I'm gonna go visit him at some point. So we'll probably make some form of content while we're together, which would be kind of neat. I would have fun doing that. Big smelly foot. Hey. His father was called Big Smelly Foot. He's just Big Foot. He dropped the smelly. That's an honorific. All right? He's not comfortable with that. Which Taylor Swift song is about Jake Gyllenhaal not showering? Sad. Yeah, Jake, I like... Here's the thing. I love Jake Gyllenhaal's acting. Like, I really do. He's, like, a really fun actor. He's been a part of a lot of really cool projects, in my opinion. But he's a fucking weird guy. I do like his ability to commit to, like, comedic bits, though. Like, if you guys have never seen that clip of him when Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home was coming out, and he was, like... trying to explain the origin of Benedict Cumberbatch's name, and he was like, Benedict Cucumber Patch. Or, not Cucumber Patch, Benedict Cabbage Patch. Just look up Benedict Cabbage Patch Jake Gyllenhaal interview. It's got Tom Holland in it as well. It is so fucking unhinged and weird, and I love it. It is one of the funniest things in the world. How often does he read his chat? Whenever my eyes drift over there. Celebrities don't shower for weeks and they get articles written about them, but I don't shower for one day and I get called lazy. Society is wild. Yeah, it's really unfair, right? What the hell? But, it is one of those things where, like, I get what Jake was saying when he said he didn't bathe all the time. But also... Fucking... the way he said it was weird. Like, do you have to bathe every single day? Theoretically, no. And there's, like, a lot of science about, like, how it helps. Like, I bathe every day because I have really oily skin. And, like, my skin oils, like, build up instantaneously. And it's pretty gross. And I don't like it. It makes me feel, like, sticky and weird. But, like, there is a lot of science behind, like, the oils and stuff. Or, like, of, like, your skin and your hair and stuff. Those things, like, the chemistry of those, like, change based on, like, your bathing habits. And sometimes, like, putting too much shampoo in your hair or whatever can, like, change that. So I think maybe that's... I want to give, like, the benefit of the doubt and be, like... maybe that's what he was talking about. Maybe that's what he meant. But at the same time, I don't know. I hope he's not stinky. Hope he's being considerate to those around him, and he's not a big stinky stinkerson by choice. It'd be kind of like a weird thing. I'd be so sad. Although he is, again, he's a really fucking weird dude. So maybe. You guys have ever seen the movie Nightcrawler? That's like one of his best performances in my mind. Like, absolutely fucking love him in Nightcrawler. He has some of the best, like, acting chops of, like, being disturbing and a little bit, like, off-putting. It is good for some skin types not to bathe every day, but you still have to bathe, like, Jake, please, right. I think I read that it's not good to wash your hair every day. Yeah, again, it depends on your hair type. It depends on your skin type. I think who he is in Nightcrawler is just him in real life. Like, you cannot convince me otherwise. Yeah, he's a little bit unhinged. He does unhinge really well. Absolutely, why not? But that's like part of why I love his acting. He's sort of unsettling to watch, but like in a good way, if that makes sense. Like, I think he's just like a little bit off kilter, and that's fine because like we talk about it all the time. It's okay to be like kind of weird. It's okay to be a little bit weird, you know? It makes you unique. It makes you fun. And I just think that like maybe he takes that a little bit farther than some of us sometimes, and that's just who he is. But he's a fantastic actor as sort of like a result of that. And I hope that, you know, he continues to give us great performances in movies. And I hope he doesn't, like, you know, smell bad or anything like that. So, yeah. All right. Now that annoyance is gone from chat. He does unhinge really well. I already read that. Hello, streamer. Shermua, what's up? Good to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Takes things farther, especially the time between... Jesus. Star Squid. Oh, wow. All right, that one got me really well. That was a good one. I wasn't expecting... I thought you were gonna have like a legitimate like appraisal of his acting skill. Like, yeah, he takes things farther, you know, like when he plays like a weird character, he's like extra weird with it. And oh, that was really well done. That was fantastic. That was absolutely fantastic. I need to take a shower, but I forgot where I packed my shampoo and conditioner. Oh, no! Are you somewhere where you can just, like, conveniently go and buy some? Or do you have a spare? I pack... All right, so I think I've talked about this before, but I'm, like... And Morgan can attest to this. I am a cereal, like, overpacker. Like, I am, like... prepping for the end of the fucking world when we go on vacation for 3 days type of person. So, it's one, like, I will regularly, Brian is a cereal confirmed. Buy Girbeagly brand flakes in your local store's cereal aisle. They somehow taste more like cardboard than regular brand flakes. They're for boomers like me. I will pack, like, I'll be like, oh, we're going to be gone for, like, 3 days? I better pack 10 pairs of underwear just in case I shit myself 3 times in a day. Like, like, that's the thought. Do I shit myself regularly? Absolutely not. Is it something I worry about? Yeah. I don't know why. But specifically when I'm on, like, vacation. I'm like, it's not like I carry, like, it's not like I have an emergency pair of underwear, like, in the car glove box. It's like, oh, we're gonna go out of town for, like, 3 days, and like, even though we're going to go to a town where there's like a Walmart where I can easily go and like buy a pack of underwear if I need to for some reason, like, what if I just shit myself like constantly? What if I eat a bad burrito on the way there and I just cannot stop shitting myself? It's just, that's, and then, yeah, right, Matt. Like, I do the same thing. I like pack like formal wear. Like, what if we go out somewhere nice to eat? But what if I want options for what to wear? What if we go to the beach? I better pack 4 swimsuits. We're going to, like, Boston in the middle of the winter. What if I want to use a hotel pool, though? That's just a way I think. I don't know why. The spares I have are horrible. Like, they leave my hair worse than if I didn't wash my hair. Like, leaves a white, waxy substance in my hair. Oh, no. All the stores are closed right now, so I'll just go through the logical places I would have packed them. I hope you're able to find it, Silver. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. That is frustrating. Absolutely valid frustration. Stone, yo!
I love all of you so much. It
27
means so much
months.
to me that this lovely safe space is here.
Yo, we're
Being
glad
here
that you're a
really
part of
helps me
it.
through difficult shit.
I'm so glad to hear that. I'm really, really happy to know that, like, what we do is something that resonates with you in, like, a really positive way, Stoned. And thank you so much for contributing your own energy to that. Guys, can we get some pride spam for the 27 long months? That's a long time. That's so awesome of you. Az, what's up? Good to see you here. Welcome to the stream. I just got here. First thing I hear from Brian is I shit myself 3 times a day. I need context. If you want context, I said chat thinks I'm a cereal, or have a cereal. I saw someone write Raisin Brian Crunch instead of Raisin Bran Crunch. Clever, chat. So I guess that extra fiber is what would have made me shit my pants 3 times a day, if we're going to logically connect the dots. And that's why I have to pack 4 pairs of underwear for every day. Like, regularly when I vacation. I don't know what that is. I'm a little bit of like an anxious worrywart type, like always sort of prepping for worst case scenario no matter what. But like specifically with vacation, I don't know why I'm that neurotic about it. Or I'm just like, I better have like 4 toothbrushes, because what if one of them breaks in my suitcase, because when they put the suitcase on like when they check the bag or like put it in the overhead, it like snaps in half. Like, what if that happens? And then what if the next one like grows mold while it's like inside the suitcase? It's not wet, but like, what if it does? I'm very much like a what-ifer when I travel. And again, it's not like I go like places that are like far from civilization. This will be like for like a gaming convention, where we'll be like in a major city with like a Target and a Walmart and like a Best Buy and shit. Like, oh man, what if my charging cable breaks? I better bring 4 of them. It's just like really a weird thing that I do. Like, we're not like in the middle of the woods. I can literally just go buy a replacement if I need one. But I refuse. Instead, I would rather be like freaked out constantly about like hypotheticals. It's just how it is. And all the little separate baggies for toiletries. If it spills, right? No, okay. So that is something that I do feel strongly about, Chloe, because Morgan and I have both been in situations where shit has spilled in our bags. So I do use like the little individual like Ziploc bags for like every like toiletry thing. There's never too much deodorant at a gaming convention. That's true. I have a regular reminder that I tweet out when I go to gaming conventions, where I'm like, hey guys, just want to remind you that, yeah, we all have like different bathing habits and stuff, but we're at a public convention and you are around other people, so please be considerate about like your hygiene and stuff, especially because like a lot of you like wait in lines for like hours at a time, and if you're stinky because you like, you know, refuse to wash your ass or put deodorant on, like, it's kind of an inconsiderate thing to do, you know? My favorite is when I pack like 3 formal gowns and 10 pairs of shoes, but I forget a toothbrush. Oh yeah, I mean, I am a chronic list maker, so that used to happen to me because like I'm very forgetful, you know, object permanence. I have bad ADHD, but I make like these annoyingly detailed checklists now. And I like quadruple check that I have everything, like multiple things of each thing on it. So I rarely forget things, but I used to do that where we'd show up somewhere and I'd be like, all right, I remembered all the major stuff. And then I'd be like, oh my God, we were vacationing in Mexico and I didn't bring my swimsuit. Like, we're at an ocean resort. What the fuck's wrong with me? You didn't call it a night? Quicksilver Fox, take care. Thank you so much for dropping by. We appreciate you. Seriously, thank you so much for hopping in for a bit. We do appreciate your company and hope you get some good rest. Hey, what's up, Once? Good to see you here. Welcome. Certain dry prescription strength before bed, and your armpits won't sweat for like 2 to 3 days. Yeah, you know what? Morgan put like leave-in dry shampoo in my hair the other day, and it was kind of awesome. I've never used it because, again, like, my issue with my hair is, like, I have a really oily type of hair. And it, like, builds up, like, oil and grease, like, super fucking fast. And it's very uncomfortable for me. And I just don't like the feeling of it when it's all, like, oily. So I shower every day. So I'd never, like, tried, like, leave-in dry shampoo stuff. Or, like, I have some of that, like, dry deodorant spray stuff. Like, those types of dry products, I've just, like, never used them because I'm like, oh, well, like, I'm someone who just, like, sweats a little bit more than the average person. I'm someone who, like, gets, like, sort of oily and greasy, and I just don't like how it feels. So, like, I'm never going to use that stuff. And Morgan put some, like, dry shampoo in my hair, like, 2 days ago, and it was actually awesome. It was so nice. I don't know what brand it was or anything about it, but, she was like, here, let me just, like, put this in your hair quick. Because my hair was, like, sort of... I'd gotten out of the shower, and it had dried weird and, like, gotten all knotty. So, like, it wasn't... it was, like, all tangled and shit. And I was like, oh, shit, how's it gonna come out? And she put some, like, dry conditioner shampoo stuff in my hair, and it, like, got all the knots out. And it was amazing. So, yeah. Dude, dry shampoo was a life changer for me. Yeah, and they smell kind of good, right? Checklists make me anxious because what if I forget what goes on the checklist and forget it anyway? You need like a checklist for your checklist. I get that. And that does happen. That is a risk, right? Is like, oh, well, I made the checklist and I did get everything on the checklist, but I didn't put everything that I needed on that checklist. I just happened to check off all the boxes on it. I totally understand that. If y'all have brand recs, Morgan will know. Checklists make me anxious too. I hate it. Yeah, Morgan and I have a very separate. So, like, even when we're traveling together, we have completely separate procedures that we follow. And we are not allowed to share our procedures with the other person now. After being together for 13 years, we're very aware of what makes the other person, like, get a little bit overwhelmed or nervous. So, Morgan, you found the stuff. I'm so glad for you, Silver. Morgan hates checklists. They make her very anxious. They make her feel overwhelmed. There's like too many little tasks to do, whereas like I feel very accomplished when I check off stuff from my checklist. So when I have a checklist and I'm packing my stuff, I keep that checklist to myself. Morgan, on the other hand, packs like a chaotic gremlin and will wait until like we have to leave for the like airport in 4 hours. And I get like really nervous. And I'm like, did you remember to bring this? And I get like really, really nervous she's going to forget something. Again, which is irrational because when we go places, it's not like we're going to the middle of nowhere. We're going somewhere where there's like a convenience store nearby at the very least where you can buy like emergency like toothpaste or a toothbrush or something. Like it's not like the worst thing in the world. But I get so nervous because she cuts it close every year. Like we used to like book like flights at like 5 a.m. and would just like not go to bed. We'd just like pull all-nighters before we went to like conventions or whatever. And it would be like 3 a.m. All right, we got to leave for the airport in like half an hour. And Morgan's still putting things in her bag. And I'm sitting there like, I'm going to fucking have a breakdown. I'm going to lose it. I am losing my mind. I'm so scared. We're not going to make it in time now. And I just get like really nervous. But she always gets all her stuff. And she does a good job. I get travel anxiety. And if I put it off, it doesn't exist. Yeah, that's what she does. So, yeah, Morgan is someone who does things very different than me when we prep to travel anywhere, and we've just learned not to communicate what we're doing with our own stuff.
I'm gonna head out for now. I've got something I have to take care of.
Right. Thank you for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much for that. Super nice of you. Go and take care of whatever you need to. Please prioritize your own life. Do your things. Good luck on whatever it is. We appreciate you being here. It's a whole lot. My partner. Wait. It's a whole lot. My partner is not hyped about it. Oh yeah, travel anxiety. Yeah, like traveling like freaks out some people. I get excited to travel, but like I'm excited to like be on time and like make sure that like I'm there ahead of time and like checked in, and then I can like relax at the airport because I'm like, all right, we're at the airport. We got through TSA. We got everything that we know. By the way, these are big footprints. I just noticed. He's been here. Oh my God. Let's follow them. But like I'm the person who like, wait, did he go in through this wall? Holy shit. Is Bigfoot inside this building right now? Is this going to be the jump scare? I do these windows and then his handprint appears or his footprint appears. He kicks the window, poof, and I get scared. I'd be very scared. But Morgan is the type who's like, I want to relax up until I have to leave, and then it's chaos, chaos, chaos. For me, it's this place is very mossy. It really is. For me, it's I need to get all my like ducks in a row before the thing happens, so that once it happens, I know what's coming and I'm gonna handle it all as it comes at me, like methodically, step by step by step. I'm prepped. I already got this question to the test right. I know it. Boom, boom, boom. It's all done, and then once it's done. Wow, we got here like 2 hours early. I can like just play Nintendo Switch like in the waiting area before we have to board in like an hour. And that's like the way that I do it. So we have very different ways of traveling. Like when I travel without Morgan, like it's such a different experience. Like I'm like packed like 2 days ahead of time or like the night before or something. And like everything's like in perfect order. My suitcase is zipped up and ready to go. Like I am so neurotic about like travel, and like I'm so worried that Morgan will forget something sometimes. Not that I don't trust her, it's just my own neuroses. Like I said, like I pack the 5 pairs of underwear for like a 2-day trip. For me, it's like if her suitcase is still open, I am worried that somehow magically something's gonna like roll out of it that she needs. And then we're going to, like, arrive at our destination, and she's going to be like, oh, no. All of my shoes somehow fell out of my suitcase while we were home. And then I'm like, whoa, oh, I knew this would happen because your suitcase was sitting open, untouched in the bedroom. Even though it's physically impossible for that to have happened. I don't know why. That's just, like, a weird, irrational, like, brain neuroses I have every time we travel. Bigfoot boss fight is the epitome of Shadow of the Colossus. Maybe. I can't. Okay, so his footprints end here, though? Bigfoot. Proof of Bigfoot. There he is! Bigfoot was a Mogus all along! Oh my god, that's so irrational. I love you. Bigfoot is sus. Bigfoot is so sus. But yeah, basically the moral of the story is don't travel with me. I will freak out. Not on you. Not to you. Just internally in my head, you'll know that I'm like exploding over and over again. I'm the meme of like, you know, the kid sitting in the classroom, like staring forward and like the veins are like popping out of his like forehead. Like that's me during any travel situation. It's like, oh fuck, did we forget? Did we remember this? I hope so. I better look at my checklist for the 500th time, just in case I accidentally checked off the wrong thing on it the other 499 times. Also, when I'm with my boyfriend, he keeps my phone because I normally don't have pockets, so every 5 seconds I get a heart attack thinking I lost my phone. That's a weird thing, right? Is like when you're used to bringing like a bag or something in somewhere and you like don't. I do that every now and then, where like if we go for a walk together. Like I still normally bring it. But, like, if Morgan and I are just, like, walking around, like, our neighborhood, sometimes I'll, like, not bring my wallet. And then, like, halfway through the walk, I'm, like, reaching in my pocket, and in my head, I'm like, oh, my fucking God, where's my wallet? Oh, yeah, that's right. I left it at home. I'm an idiot. Whoa, look at that. There's a geyser. Can we go out there? You get so anxious and talk my ear off, and then all of a sudden, I'll look over, and you're passed out as soon as we take off. I fall asleep on the plane, and Morgan hates me for it. I can fall asleep anywhere. I have this weird fucking ability where I can just pass out on a plane instantaneously. Like, it's like, hello, this is your captain speaking. We have just reached 10,000 feet, and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. Please keep in mind to still keep your seatbelt on. And meanwhile, I've been asleep for 30 minutes already. Like, I'm gone. Also, car rides. Yeah, car rides. Car puts me to sleep. If I'm in a car for longer than an hour and a half, I'm fucking gone, dude. If I'm not driving, I am so asleep that it is hard to wake me. That's how soundly I am resting. I don't know how or why. I think it's just from, like, doing so many long road trips when I was a kid. But, like, because when I was a kid, we'd, like, drive down to, like, South Carolina from New York. And that's, like, a pretty decent length of time to be on the road for a child who, back then, you know, you didn't have a smartphone, you didn't have an iPad. We had books. We had, like, books. Or, like, I had Game Boy at the time. But the thing is if I put my head down to look at something for an extended amount of time, while I'm in a car, I get really motion sick, even if I take, like, Dramamine or something like that. And so the only thing I could do is, like, play games. I did the thing where, like, I pretended there was a little man running really fast in the distance, like, jumping over the cars in the oncoming traffic lane. Or I would just pass out. I'd just go to sleep. So, ninja parkour, yeah. Little ninja parkour traffic guy. But, because I couldn't read. If I tried to read, which I always wanted to do, I'd be like, oh man, Animorphs, I'm gonna read Animorphs. And then, like, I'd get to chapter 2 of the book, and those books, for those of you who remember, are, like, really thin. You know, I'd be, like, 12 pages into the book, and I'd be like, Mom, I'm gonna throw up. She'd, like, have to pull over on the side of the road, and I'd barf. And then, like, I'd have a headache the rest of the car ride. So I learned from a very young age, I can't really do anything fun while I'm in the car. So I would sleep. Every now and then, and I always envied my sister, because my sister does not get motion sick. So she would, like, she does, like, a little bit on, like, boats, I think, if I remember correctly. But she's, like, doesn't not get motion sick the way I do. She used to read magazines when we'd be in the car. And I'd have, like, a Nintendo Power magazine. And I'd be like, I want to read about Mario. And, like, I couldn't. Because, like, I'd barf everywhere. The way I just laughed. That is a very accurate recounting of, like, long car trips. Is at some point, my, like, little kid brain would be like, well, maybe I could weed for a little bit. And I'd be like, Mom, we'll go throw up. So, but I was always, like, so jealous. Sometimes I would be lucky and she wouldn't be reading her magazines, and we'd get to play the license plate game together, where you try to, like, spot one of each license plate. And I'm, like, determined at this point, now that I'm older, that parents just made up that fucking game because they knew that kids would never be able to get to, like, it's just a way to, like, keep kids occupied indefinitely during a car ride. Because for those of you who've never done the license plate game, it's literally just you're trying to spot one license plate from every state. But we were in inland, like New York, driving down to, like, the East Coast. We were never going to see a fucking Hawaii license plate. There's no way. We never did. But we'd always be like, oh, have you seen Hawaii yet? No, have you? Oh, we got to look for it. So, like, I know that was just a game that, like, my parents told us to play to, like, make us occupy ourselves for the, like, 8 hours in the car or whatever. We always did the alphabet game. Wait, which alphabet game, though? Good luck seeing Hawaii ever. Right. So, like... Oh, these are... Oh, my God, these are windows? I thought these were just, like, cool... Sort of, like, molding on the outside of the hut here. That's cool. All right. Got cool windows, man. But, yeah. That's what we would do on road trips. And I was always just, like... sad and sick. I'd always stare out the window and imagine a ninja parkouring across everything. Yeah, I was just literally just saying that ninja parkour thing was the other thing that I could do. Where I just like pretend there was like a ninja either in the distance, like jumping over shit. Like sometimes he was running on top of the power lines, and every time like one of the like actual like utility poles came through, like he had to jump over the top of that to get to the next power line. Or I would imagine he was running in the oncoming traffic lane, and he'd have to jump over and like flip over the cars and shit. In California, we would never see Rhode Island. Yeah, right. Like geographically, it's very unlikely you're going to see things from not in your region playing the license plate game. So like kids just got like scammed. They're not moldings, just moldy. True. You're not wrong. When I was little, I got scared because I thought the moon was following me and I'd never see the sun again. I cried. I hope your parents educated you really quick, because what a weird, like, fear to have. Like, I hope they were like, what's wrong? Why are you crying? I think the moon's following me. It killed the sun. Just let them believe what they believe. They'll learn. Kids don't know where states are. Right, exactly. Like that was the ruse of that game. I thought the moon was my friend as a kid. Of course, it's the man in the moon, right? It's the only man you can trust. The man in the moon. Only unproblematic man. Really. I did see a plate from Arizona the other day, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I live in Rochester, New York. Western New York State. And, I every now and then see, like, a Texas or, like, Arizona license plate. We actually just saw a Texas license plate, like, 2 days ago. I did see a Hawaii plate here once, but it took me 30 years to see it. Yeah, that was, like, I think that was the first time I've ever seen one as well. Because, obviously, an island state, unless they, like, you know, have the car shipped over with the plates on it, like, it's, you're not going to see it. It's just, like, weird. When I was a kid, I told my mom the moon was laughing and she made fun of me. Oh, man. She should have been like, yo, you should laugh with it. That means it likes you. You know? La Lune. I see New York plates all the time. So many people from there come to Toronto. Yeah. Morgan and I drive to Toronto every now and then. It's a easy drive over there, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of New York plates. Because, I mean, Western New York, like where we live, we're right on the border. We can go to Canada. When the border's open, we can go to Canada whenever we want, which is actually really nice. Because it's like a cool, you know, out of country technically, but still easy day drive, like day trip type thing to do. So, like, we've done that a lot. We've done Toronto. We do Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Morgan's been to Hamilton a couple times. There's been a lot of Canadian travel here. My mom and dad had a cassette tape that told the story of a girl who wanted to get her heart's desire from the moon. She went to a department store roof to ask for it. It was weird looking back on it, but it was my favorite story growing up. Well, that's really cute that you have, like, good memories of it. Interesting department store specifically. I feel like someone's, like, own childhood wish was sort of, like, self-inserted in there or something. That's kind of cute, though. I like that. I mean, very realistic. That's like a relatable setting for like a kid. Like, oh, like JCPenney's roof or something. You know, like. So I guess that kind of makes sense. If you ever remember what the name of the story is, please let me know to see if I'm like familiar with that one. I see Texas plates pretty often. I regularly drive on I-95 in Connecticut/Rhode Island. Honestly, even in some of the worst parts of the pandemic, I still saw plates from Texas. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, Texas was doing so fucking bad with COVID that I know a lot of people from that area who had, like, relatives elsewhere in the state were driving out of it during everything. I mean, it's still going on, but, like, during, like, the big spikes that were, like, you know, the beginning of everything. A lot of people were escaping to like, relatives' homes and whatnot, like, in the north or, you know, going just completely somewhere else. So that's not the weirdest thing, but also it is always surprising to be like, oh, wow, that guy's like... I always say the exact same thing. Like, my dad joke style, like, reference thing is always, man, they're a long way from home. Like, I can't stop myself from saying it. I'm always just like, man, look at that. Texas license plate. That guy's a long way from home. Like, it's an original thought. At all. There was a guy whose first girlfriend turned into the moon. There's a lot of there's a lot of mythologies about, like, people who are either, like, trapped on the moon or turned into the moon. Like, isn't, like, Chang'e from, like, you know, East Asian mythology is very, very moon-based. Very based and moon-pilled. What? How's this not done? Oh. It's because I lack eyeballs, apparently. That one movie that made us sob? Yes! Freaking To the Moon. On Netflix? God, what a good movie. What a sad movie, but a good movie. A really, really sweet, heartfelt movie. I really like that one a lot. The moon is pretty pog. It is! Texans are no strangers to long drives. I regularly drive 5+ hours to get anywhere exciting like Austin, San Antonio, Houston, etc. That is true. Texas takes like fucking like 2.5 days like drive across. It's such a huge state. I think people regularly forget. What's the statistic? It's like the entirety of the U.S., like the rest of the U.S., the other 49 states could like all comfortably fit inside of Texas, like population-wise, and everyone gets like a full acre of land or something, right? It was something like crazy like that. Because geographically, like Texas is that fucking big. That's bonkers bananas. That's not okay, Texas. That's not okay of you to be that large. Everything's bigger in Texas, as they say. Again, I bring this up every time. I don't know why I bring this up every time. I'm just like, I think it's because I've been cooped up so long because of the pandemic that, like, like, I'm just so excited to, at some point, who knows when, travel again. And I really want to go to Texas just for Buc-ee's. Like, I really want to visit Buc-ee's in Texas. A state too damn big. It's huge. The halfway point driving from Dallas to San Diego is literally El Paso. Oh my God, that's insane. I used to think I could talk to Poseidon when I went to the beach. I mean, if you could, that'd be pretty fucking convenient, right? You could be like, hey, dude. Can you, like, make the temperature of the water, like, perfect? A big fan of your work, by the way. Love the tides. Very cool. Can you maybe make, like, you know, the waves not too rough, but, like, pleasant when I go into the ocean? And could you, like, I don't know, dude, make it, like, nice and, like, warm, but not, like, you know, keep it refreshing, dude? And then Poseidon's like, yeah, bruh. Absolutely, dude. And then you, like, you know, a giant wave comes up in the shape of a bro fist. And you and Poseidon go, oh, bro fished. Bro fished. Like that. What is this scenario I'm fucking making up right now? Oh my god. Like, what just happened? Where am I? It's still Wednesday, right? When I watched Percy Jackson, I was sure that I was the daughter of Poseidon. Who says you're not? You know? Dream big. Be who you want to be. Become who you want to become. All right? It's like tomorrow, like, or like in a year, I get a message from someone who's like a longtime viewer who's like, Brian, I took your advice and I dropped out of college and I just pursued being Poseidon's daughter, and it didn't fucking work out, bro. I'm homeless and I lost my car, and everyone keeps saying I'm nuts, and I smell bad because I keep bathing in only the ocean. I only bathe in salt water all the time. I have not used tap water or shampoo in years. In a year. Thanks for the fucking terrible advice, idiot. And then I'm gonna go, that's your fault for that's your fault for trusting a streamer online. Parasocial, that's your fault. I'm a streamer. I'm an idiot. Why would you ever listen to anything I say? Please do not take life advice from me. That is the only life advice that you can stand by 100% of the time, is don't take my word as anything that you want to apply to your life. This is quite a combo to just join the stream on. I have no context. You know what? To be fair, I've been here the whole time and I don't really have context. I'm not entirely sure of what's going on. All I know is that I've been watching this for like, how long's it been? Like half an hour? Like 45 minutes? I've been watching this and we're at 6%? Sounds like Jake Gyllenhaal only ever sometimes bathing in salt water. Yeah, we talked. What if that's okay? So, because we were talking about Jake Gyllenhaal earlier, what if that's really what's going on? What if he actually got cast in the new live-action Percy Jackson series that they're going to be putting on like Disney Plus or whatever, and he's just like method acting, and he's only bathing in salt water? What if we've gotten him wrong the entire time, chat? What if he's actually about to put on a breakout performance? And we've been, like, total dicks to him about it. 2 years later, Brian, I am writing this letter from prison. People thought I was crazy because I was screaming, I am Poseidon's daughter, and this is my ocean for 3 days. Help. I mean, get three square meals, right? And there's recreation time. You can lift weights and come out, and when you're done, you'll be super jacked. And then you'll come to my house and beat me up for bad advice. And it will be really easy because you'll be really jacked. So there you go, life hack. Wanna kick my ass? Go to prison for pretending to be or trying to become Poseidon's daughter. There you go, chat. Life hack right there. Speed run it. That's how you do it. And then you can kick my ass. You too can kick my ass. Or, alternatively, you just wait for me to have an energy drink, which recently has been like every day. And my heart, my blood pressure apparently gets like really high, according to my doctor. And then I'll like just be out of breath answering the door. And then you can just like punch me like bap once in the face and then I'm dead. You know? 3 square meals. I don't know. They're more like parallelogram meals. There's some sort of shape. Is this a troom life hack? Yeah. I can't. I have commitment issues. Well, come on now. Who's gonna beat me up if not you? Why am I actively encouraging chat to kick my ass? Hey guys, completely violate my privacy, show up to my home, and kick my ass. So again, Risk It Ryan, I know you came in here and you're like, what a conversation to join in on. I don't have any context. I'm the one leading the conversation right now. I don't know what the fuck it is that I'm talking about. I'm playing funny, haha, relaxing water spray game. And like saying random words. Oh my god, all those chickens!
Look at all those ass-kicking chickens.
Chickens! Thank you for the 5 chickens. I appreciate that a lot. Really do appreciate all of your support. So very much. Very generous of you. Thank you for the $5. Super nice of you. How are we only 7%? I know that last time I was bitching because I was like, oh, I really want to do like a larger thing. I want to do like a big house, and we got it. But wow, this is going to take a long time. This is going to take a very long time. But look how nice this looks. Just wait until the next con. Brian is just going to have a line of people waiting to kick his ass. It's like my security handler like tries to step in and I'm like, nope, wait. I asked for this. Listen, they're all subs on my Twitch stream. It's okay. Time to beat up Brian at the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid. It's like I call ahead for the event. I'm like, yeah, hey, I would like to reserve one of your conference rooms. Can you please put down like rubber mats? We're gonna have like a one-sided fight club in there. It's like, by the way, is there an extra charge if you have to get like blood out of the floor? And they're like, excuse me? Yeah, no, I have like 75 people showing up to like just punch me each at least one time in the face. Huh? We're a Bass Pro Shop. Yeah, okay, cool. So you guys will like probably have like life jackets and stuff that like, you know, we can use as like padding for the floor for when I inevitably am knocked out and I fall down. And I will have a padded landing. So we sell fishing supplies to sportsmen. And then I get all uppity. Are you saying that bare knuckle boxing is not a sport? Do you know the physicality that goes into the training regiment for bare knuckle boxing? You've insulted me and my kind. And we will take our business elsewhere. Good day. And then I complain to corporate. Bass Pro Shop? Nah, Bass Pro Wrestling. Instead of asking for hugs, they're asking to kick your ass instead. Yeah. I mean, I am... So the running joke in the community for like a fucking long time, like... And it wasn't just my community. It was just like, for some reason, it's weirdly took over YouTube communities where like people would be like, I want to fight that YouTuber. I want to kick that YouTuber's ass. Like, I'll beat up that YouTuber. And like, they, you know, it always came from like an, I guess, endearing place, but it was like this, another one of those like weird situations where it was like, It's people saying they want to, like, beat me up who don't really know me. And then people would be like, I gotta find you at this convention so we can fight. And I was like, haha, it's kind of cute, like, the first, like, 2 times. And then after that, it's like, please come up with other jokes. But, like, that used to just, like, be a thing. Where, like, people would, like, say that about, like, Mark regularly. And to be fair, I get it. You know, Mark has a punchable face. I get it. But, like, it was just a weird thing that, like, happened. Oh, there's a lawn gnome up there. What the fuck?
You are in martial arts.
How rusted am I? I am very rusty in martial arts. So for those of you who don't know, I have a black belt in karate and taekwondo. And I've not used either. Like, I've not trained in either in... Ah, shit. Like, we're talking like 15 years. Like, I've not gone to, like, a dojo to, like, train in, like, 15 years. So a very good chance that, like, those instincts wouldn't really do very much for me. Just get my ass handed to me regularly. So, yeah. Oh my god, look at this shit. This dude just chilling up here. This is a giant hammock. Hello? Oh my god. Death. Double tap. Now we know he's dead. Thank you for the bits, by the way, Az. That was very nice of you. I saw someone earlier in chat say that it's okay, we know how to wash the blood out. That's right. It could be a combination power wash convention. I invite the sponsors for the convention are various power washing companies from around the world, around the country. And then we get power washing sponsors, like equipment sponsors, to come to this thing, thinking it's a power washing convention, but it's really just a convention about me for some reason. And then... and then after I have my ass kicked, and there's blood everywhere, they can just power wash it away. It's convenient. It's self-contained. There's almost something poetic and beautiful about it. We've cracked the code. We figured it out. And because they're sponsoring it as well, we'll be taking their money to run and fund the convention and rent out space. And then their equipment can be used, like, can be demoed there as well. It's perfect. The next YouTube boxing match, Girbeagly versus Chat. I've never felt like in like hardcore physical danger at like a convention or anything. I'm actually based off of the number of people who, like I said, are always like, I want to fight you, Brian. And like that becomes like their whole personality of like how I get to know them. Like based off that, I'm always surprised when I go to conventions because everyone's so fucking nice to me. People will like yell my name and like run after me, like if they see me somewhere sometimes. But it's never like scary. It's like oh, they recognize me. Cool. Yeah, of course. We're at a convention. Like they're trying to like come over and say hi before I have to like leave or something. And they'll like run over and they'll be all excited and they'll be like, oh my God, we've been looking everywhere for you. Like, can we please get like a picture? Like, how have you been doing? And like, they're always like really nice. Like, just like everyone's always like so nice, like so sweet. Like I've like cried in green rooms at conventions, like pretty regularly, actually. I've cried in convention green rooms because people have been so nice to me. And there's like been like so many people who like will show up to like a signing or like a panel or something. Our friends, got a poof while I drive home. See you when I get home. Have a safe drive. Thank you very much for letting us know, Chronic, so that we are able to look out for you coming back here. Would you ever think about coming to Indie PopCon again? No, I've talked about this a couple times. Absolutely not. They have to change a lot of how they work for me to ever want to go back there. And it has nothing to do with the fans. The fans at Indie Pop... It breaks my fucking heart because the fans that come out to Indie PopCon are, no joke, some of the best that I've ever encountered in my life. They have the best energy, the number, just the sheer scope of like how many fans come out to like Indie PopCon is amazing. The convention itself it does a lot of things that I do not agree with on a ethical level, is all I'll say about it, because that's really all I can say about it. So like, I've mentioned this before, and I mentioned it literally every time someone asked me if I'm ever going to come back to Indy. They got a lot of work to do, and there is a reason why literally every large YouTuber or Twitch streamer that has gone there no longer associates with them. So they are the ones who'd have to come to me, which they have multiple times, to try to entice me back and show that things have changed on their end. I remember one of the earliest things I asked in chat here was, wait, why is that convention name a Voldemort? Because you didn't even speak the name for so long. Yeah, I did. So part of that was I wasn't able to. I was not... There's stuff in my contract with them where I was not allowed to say certain things that I'm now allowed to due to like NDA time release and stuff. So that's part of why. Understandable. I've only been to 3 Indie PopCons. Got to meet you in 2016. I hate it here too. I mean, to be fair, I make fun of Indianapolis a lot. It's not my favorite city in the world, but at the same time, the convention, like the people who go to the convention have always been the kindest and the coolest. And, like, again, the unmatched energy. I've never been to a convention that's, like, been quite as fucking, like, filled with as many positive, amazing members of the community as that one. It doesn't really have anything to do with the city. It has nothing to do with the fans at all. Any West Coast cons you go to? Oh, yeah, a ton. They just, like, again, if people want me at a convention, like, you know, sometimes they have, like, contact forms where... it can be, or like suggestion forms where it's like, hey, who do you want to see at the next like anime expo or something like that? Just write to them, put my name in as a suggestion. And if they contact me, we can work something out. And I'd love to go to some West Coast conventions eventually. Once I feel a little bit more like safe about traveling and stuff. So yeah. I absolutely. West Coast, if anything, I'd prefer to hit up some out there because I never have. So, like, I want to hit up, like TwitchCon at some point because all my friends go to that. I want to go to Anime Expo at some point because I do like anime a lot. And I have a lot of friends that go to that one as well. I'd like to go to... I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. I've been to PAX West. Like, I used to go, like, every single year to PAX West. So I have been West Coast as far as, like, the Seattle area goes. But I've never done any, like, in California, which is, like, obviously, like, a lot of the convention stuff that's on the West Coast is in Cali. Non-Descon? I've never heard of that. But again, if there's a lot of these places, if you go to their websites, they'll have like a suggestion form. If you tell them to invite me, a lot of the times I do get invites in my my inbox from these places, and we try to work stuff out. So, yeah, I mean that's how PopCon got Ethan and I. is Ethan had gone as like a fan, and they like really liked his energy there. And then they reached out, like people were like, yeah, we'd like to see you at this thing. Like people in both of our communities were like, yeah, we'd like to see both of you at this thing. And then they told like PopCon about it, and PopCon reached out to both of us, and we worked with them for a number of years, which was at the time pretty neat. Especially because it was one of the conventions that was growing. You know, like it became like it is like a mid-size, slightly larger at this point convention. And it was really nice to have a convention where, like, no offense to like Mark and Sean and like other really huge people, but like at the time, like a lot less people knew who Ethan was. Like a lot less people knew who Ethan was. And a lot less people knew who I was. And we got to, like, headline it 1 year. Like, we were, like, the biggest people there, or, like, some of the biggest people there. And that was really cool. That was really, really awesome to sort of, like, have a convention that, like, we were sort of turning into, like, our tradition, our thing. And, you know, like, that was very special at the time. That felt really good. So, yeah. Did I just realize you drew an Amogus character on the wall? Mood. So, Bigfoot is in this area, as we've been warned about a number of times. But there are Bigfoot feet, like just footprints everywhere. So this is the actual Bigfoot. It was the imposter all along, actually. But, yeah, we only got invited to that because fans wanted us there. So, again, like, if you guys want me invited somewhere, like, let them know, and they'll have their people contact my people, essentially, and we'll work something out. I've always wanted to go to, like, a bunch of the conventions down in, like, Texas and stuff as well. There's, like, a whole lot that go down in Texas. Wanted to go to, like, a couple Canadian conventions. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I'd love to do when I feel a little bit safer about crowds and about traveling and stuff. So, yeah. If Bigfoot exists, they need to be protected. Absolutely. like for real though. Like from a natural history standpoint, and from like a conservationalist like standpoint, and like a endangered species type perspective. Yeah, absolutely. The scientific community would have to handle that very delicately. Everyone always says Bigfoot, but no one ever says how foot. Jeez. That got me so off guard. Like, sometimes those are my favorite fucking kinds of jokes. That, like, the punchline's actually so bad that it's good. I don't know why. I think it's just my humor is, like, fucking broken. But when there's just, like, a joke that fits an established format, but it doesn't make sense in that established format, sometimes those take me so off guard because they feel so unnatural that they end up being funnier than they should be. I love that. I don't know why. That got me so good. If Bigfoot exists, they need to change their name to Big Feet. Yeah, I wonder if that would happen if they could communicate with us and they'd be like, actually, it's Big Feet. I have two. Established establishments. Brian, I legit saved those jokes for you, so this chat because they crack me up too. No one else ever laughs. I have such a fucking weird, broken sense of humor at this point. Like, memes have to be a very specific variety to, like, get me anymore. Like, I regularly show Morgan what's on my TikTok feed. Like, I'm on broken humor TikTok. And I regularly show Morgan, like, what's on my TikTok feed, and maybe about 50% of the time she finds what I find funny. And the other half of the time she's like, what the fuck what is that? There's a guy who put like an egg in his mouth and then he like spit it out and said like corn, and that's the TikTok. Like something stupid. And it will like kill me. Bigfoot actually has only one foot. Real, not clickbait. I have a very specific, like, weird meme sense of humor at this point. It's like I talked about, like, with the Reddit, like, for whatever reason, like, badly photoshopped, like, images. Like, not, like, super bad, not, like, someone fucking made it in MS Paint bad, like, they actually... But someone who does, like, a bad, like, transparency cutout in, like, Photoshop, where they, like, don't smooth the edges. And it's just, like, a stupid screenshot of, like, someone else's face, like, going on something else. Like, those types of things, like, make me laugh a lot. And I don't know why. Because the quality sucks. But that's, like, those are, like, the best types of memes now. Like, the weird, like off-center... Like, you'll see them on Twitter all the time. Like, people, like, fucking... like, they'll put them up as, like, a screenshot of, like, another tweet, but it's, like, off-center, so, like, some of the letters are, like, cut off almost, and, like, it's super blurry and pixelated, and it will just, like, have, like, a bad Photoshop job of, like, a different word put on it than, like, what the original tweet said. I don't know why, but that sort of, like, broken, like, deep-fried, like, crappy, like, meme regularly gets me. Like, I have a version of the, like, Shaquille O'Neal going to, like, the McDonald's, like, hi, can I have a Whopper or Big Mac or whatever the hell, like, meme it is, where he's, like, in the car, and they're like, can't, food machine's broken, and he's like, understandable, have a nice day. I have a version of that that's just, like, Shaquille O'Neal, like, stretched, like, way too wide and, like, deep-fried. And then, like, like, just only the word understandable made it onto the meme. And that's, like, a reaction picture of just understandable. That's all it says. And for whatever reason, I just use it all the time. It's, like, one of my favorite, like, reaction memes. And it's, like, a perversion of the original meme that was already fucking weird and broken humor. Like, deep-fried memes are the best. I don't know why. They're classic, and they've, like, stuck around for me. Like, in my brain, like, that is, like, where the humor's at. Or, like, stonks memes, like, stupid shit like that just, like, sort of formulaic, but, like, doesn't entirely make sense. Like, that shit sticks around in my brain. And I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's just, I think the internet has just completely warped me at this point. How are we only at 12%? That's actually crazy. How are we only at 12%? Stonks always gets me. That is one, like, meme format that, like, I regularly see that just almost always is funny for whatever reason. Okay, but stonks. Yeah, stonks. You're home? Hey, Chronic! I'm so glad that you had a safe drive. The internet has a way of breaking you in so many ways. Yeah, it's like, it just turned my mind into something that, like, it wasn't before. Especially with like, being inside during the pandemic. Like, I just sat and scrolled on Twitter some days for, like, 12 hours straight. And... or, like, watched 1,000 TikToks in a day. And that was that. That was the end of it. That was the beginning of the end. So much bored scrolling. For me, it was, like, less about bored scrolling. It was actually the opposite. There was so many things that were going on last year during, like, lockdown that... And I could have done a million things. Because, again, I work from home. My job wasn't really impacted that much. If anything, like a lot of streamers have been very candidly talking about this, but like viewer numbers, you guys remember viewer numbers during lockdown specifically, when no one was allowed to go out, were way high for this channel. We were averaging like 180 viewers. There were streams regularly where I'd hit 200 viewers and go, whoa, that was just a regular night. And it was just like really, really crazy. And, you know, it's something that like, it was just like a given at the time. And I could have like really fed into that. I could have done like more like super long streams. I could have been working on YouTube videos. I could have been starting to make music like I attempted to do like 3 times over 2020. I could have, you know, done a million different things. I wasn't like really bored. I had like a lot of stuff to do to keep me occupied specifically, especially stuff that would have benefited me. It was more about shutting my brain off. Like I hit this point where I was like, I just need to do something that removes like some of the conscious thought, because those moments where I am putting conscious thought in, it was a lot of spoons were being used. I had to put all my energy into, you know, signal boosting, amplifying a cause that I really cared about, or I had to concentrate on putting my energy into actually like doing work, like motivated to do work, like be motivated to do work, and not like feel like, well, what the fuck is the point, because the world is ending or whatever. So there was a lot of that, and I have a feeling the correlation was the more nonsensical, the more ridiculous, the more just absolutely wacko the meme was, and the like more I could like turn my brain off in those moments, like the more it resonated me in that moment, because it took me farther away from those sort of like dreadful heavy thoughts. So sometimes you just got to go smooth brained. Absolutely. Sometimes you want your brain to look like a chicken breast. I was quarantined in the woods with coworkers for like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Hopping out alert to say, love this community, love the vibes, but I gotta sleep. Lucy, take care, get some good rest. Thank you very much for hanging out. Seriously, like, thank you so much for chilling with us. We always appreciate you in chat. You bring some really good energy here, and we're so happy that you're happy here. Again, at the end of the day, if there's a billion people out there who fucking hate my guts for whatever reason, they don't like what I do, they don't like the causes I stand up for, whatever, I'll know that I tried my hardest to make a community here that feels safe and inclusive and welcoming and fun and hilarious for people, and that I did an okay job at it. Because, like, what we got right now, guys, I'm proud of it. This community fucking rocks. It's so fun. No thoughts, head empty. Yeah. Yo, I mean, that's another thing, right? That's a sort of a part of my stream. My stream's like weird as fuck, right? I don't really play trendy games. I don't do anything like overly like high production value. No shade to anyone who does, because that shit's so cool, and that's the beauty of like being a content creator, is you get to broadcast that to the world in some kind of way that's like really unique and your own, and make it into what you want it to be. But I'm like very, very like laid back compared to that kind of shit. Like, yeah, I get excited about games and like freak out and, you know, argue with chat and shit and get memey and whatever. But like, I'm just kind of like a fucking weirdo. I just offer like very niche fucking bizarre content. And then like otherwise people just kind of know me as the nice guy who has a lot of connections in the industry. Like that is I was at a convention and I had another person that knew who I was. Another streamer who knew who I was, who introduced me that way. Hey, this is Brian. He's a really nice guy, and he's friends with Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. That's how he would introduce me to people. And I remember having like that was like such a weird mental blow for me at the time. Because I was like, wow, like people really don't know me as me. And they don't fucking care who I am. And they see me as sort of like a node on the web of connections to bigger people. So like my reputation means more to them than like who I am as a person. And that was like a really weird moment for me. That was like a really like huge ego blow, huge like boom to my mental, basically. And weird to be constantly seen as a connection to others, absolutely. But it's just kind of how that industry works sometimes. It's like no one had seen me or considered anything I did noteworthy enough to make me stand out as me. So other people were seeing me as that specifically. Brian, honestly, folks tell me I have too high of standards for human beings and I have no complaints. It's the reason I always feel 100% confident and comfortable whenever I donate / buy merch / give stuff. Lucy, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much for all your support. And I hope that this community never disappoints you because we all really enjoy your company. We all are so happy that you feel comfortable and happy here. Off to bed. Megan, take care. Thank you so much for chilling. Soon enough, you will be known as the pioneer of Fight a Streamer conventions. Yeah, none of this pay-gated pay-per-view YouTuber fighting YouTuber boxing match thing. It's going to be... All you have to do is buy a ticket to the convention and you could come punch me in the face. Take care, Lucy. Thanks for being here. This is Brian. He's really nice and his chat is cursed and eats candles. But basically, the point I was getting at, it wasn't really supposed to be like a pity party or anything like that, because I've since reconciled with that sort of energy and that sort of reputation that I have in the industry. Still, to this day, some people only see me as that, of like, oh, he's friends with Ethan, oh, he's friends with Mark, oh, he's friends with Sean. There are people who only see me as that, and I can't change their mind on that. All I can do is, like, do my own thing as best as I can, and I have been. I'm a fucking professional voice actor now. I set out to do that, and I became that. I'm fucking awesome for doing that. I'm really happy about that. But the thing is I provide really weird niche content, and to hear that, like, that's become, and especially, like, during, like, lockdown, my content became, like, some people's, like, go-to, like, chill vibe or chaotic, goofy comedy energy. Like, that, like, the fact that, like, this became the place, like, people felt the most comfortable hanging out with when, like, the world felt like it was literally falling apart. That's really fucking cool. That's really awesome. To know that that's the way some people look at this community and this stream. Like, thank you a lot for having faith in what I do and supporting what I do. Like, thank you. It's really, really nice of you. And I'm so happy that, like, people have fun here and that people feel safe here and feel good here. If I die tomorrow, I will pretty much die with no regrets in regards to, like, the work I did, because we set up something really special and cool here. One time, Ashley described herself as having the most wholesome curse community on Twitch, and I instantly thought, we ate candles once in Brian's shit. I think we win. Ashley and I regularly talk about how we're like long-lost siblings or something, because she's like a lot younger than me, but we have like very similar senses of humor, and like she grew up with like the same kind of inspiration and like media that I loved when I was younger. And so, like, we have a lot of similar interests, and our communities are so weirdly similar sometimes with, like, the blurst energy. And that makes me, I don't know, I'm just, like, so happy to know Ashley. Ashley is fantastic. We definitely have, like, a lot of, like, intersection in, like, our communities in sort of, like, how we handle things and what our communities talk about and have as a sense of humor and shit. And I love that. Ashley is fantastic. But yeah, I think if we ever had like a blurst off like competition, if we ever made it like an official competition, I think we might win over hers. I love the treehouse in the middle of nowhere. That's not creepy. Well, so there's a lot of evidence that Bigfoot is here, actually. So there's a supernatural twist, or at least a cryptid twist to what we're doing. I was watching your stream with a friend and showed them the chat, and they were laughing for like 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, it's fucking insane here. Some of you are absolute, like, sociopaths. Like, you're crazy. You go, I don't have any concern for other people's comfort levels. I'm going to say this cursed meme right now. And you make everybody laugh or cringe. And, you know, there's power in that. I like the Bigfoot aspect, though, but I want to know if it's him or her. I don't know. Where do they get the money? I don't know if this is their treehouse. I think this is owned by the person who asked me to clean it. But they were talking about how Bigfoot might be around because he's hunting Bigfoot. So this is like his base. Like, so this is the person who owns its base. Like, you'll see down here. Where are they? Oh, here they go. There's like little cameras that are set up to like track Bigfoot in the woods. So there you go. Mostly cringe. Yeah, mostly cringe. Abso-fucking-lutely. Once you become a part of chat, you gain blurst superpowers. Yeah, you definitely... I would like to say that I absolutely believe that when you stick around here long enough, you start to gain an actual, like, tolerance for, like, curse shit. Because either I will say something fucking cursed and weird, or chat will definitely say something cursed and fucking weird. At some point, like, it's either you get used to it, or you just die. We never see you again. You're fucking dead. You're gone. Your mind isn't able to process what's being said in chat or by me, and you just, like, you cease to be. So there's a certain, that said, I have had some people tell me every now and then, and I know no one ever means to sort of, like, do this, but I have had some people who have, like, privately confided in me that, like, when they join the community, they feel very, like, othered by a lot of the in-jokes, which is, like, you know, that happens. That's not the part that I'm, like, really commenting on with this, because, like, memes and in-jokes happen in all media. That's bound to happen. So that's just, like, a natural part of joining any new community, not getting references, whatever. But I have had some people who are like, hey, like, when I join chat and I'm, like, brand new and, like, people, like, start, like, memeing at me, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And it, like, made me, like, not want to talk for, like, the first 2 months in chat. And again, I know that's no one doing that, like, maliciously or anything. But, like, there are moments where I'm like, I kind of want the community to fucking grow. Like, I'm very, very appreciative of everyone here. And if we stopped growing right now, I'd continue to be so. But, like, I don't want us to chase people away. Like we do have to be, like, mindful of that part of it. Of, like, I know I joke, like, there's a certain aspect of, like, rite of passage here, and there absolutely is. Like, this energy, this humor that we have regularly, is 100% something that, like, you either get it or you fucking don't. But yeah, exactly, Hellcat. Like, the boundaries still exist. Like, people's personal boundaries still exist. Like, there are definitely, like, certain lines that, like, if people, like, point out they're uncomfortable with something and you're still, like, making those jokes at them, then you're kind of being the butthead in that situation, you know? So, like, something to always try to remember as much as we can, chat. We're here to have fun. We're here to goof off, and yeah, we welcome people with the same amount of energy they come in with. But if someone like comes in and they're like asking genuine questions, it kind of comes off like we're being dicks sometimes if we're just in joking at them. So always something to keep in mind, because again, I don't want to chase away new viewers. Like, I want this to be the best fucking community on Twitch, but I want us to, like, keep welcoming new people. I want more people to know about, like, how welcoming and awesome and kick-ass it is here. Like, I want that for all of us, because the more people there are, the more friends we have. The more, like, people who are going to enjoy, like, the experiences and make the fun memories and, like, add their own absolutely cursed, like, fucked up weird energy to our community. So, like, that's a topic, like, I've wanted to bring up for a while, and I didn't really know, like, when a good time was to bring it up. And again, I'm not, like, pointing out anyone specific. It's definitely not, like, anyone specific in the community. It's more of, like, I've had people confide in me, where they've been like, yeah, I didn't, like, feel comfy talking, like, in your community for, like, the first, like, 2 months. Because, like, I'd ask, like, what game it was you were playing, and people would, like, fucking, like, meme at me. And I wouldn't get, like, a straight answer to it. Or I'd ask, like, what I missed, and, like, people would, like, make jokes, and then I'd be like, okay, cool, but, like, what did I really miss? And, people just, like, not fucking answer my question. And then I'd feel like I was left out of something I wanted to be a part of. And it's not me, like, again, it's not me pointing out, like, anyone specific in the community. It's not me, like, trying to, you guys are terrible, the new people. You're awful. Like, oh, I'm scolding you. It's nothing like that. It's more of, like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I would get so lost and caught up in the energy. I'd, like, meme right along with everybody. And I'd be like, haha, yeah. We just had, like, a talk about, like, how we're gonna throw poop at each other later. Haha, it's a goofy poop joke. And, like, people will be like, no, but, like, really, how is everyone doing today, you know? And, it's just one of those things where, like, we get caught up in the, like, laughter and the energy, and it's so easy to do that sometimes. And that's such a natural thing to, like, feel like we know we're all welcome here. We know we're all a part of what's already going on. But we don't want it to seem like it's, like, a, you know, a velvet roped-off club, you know? We want people to be able to feel welcome if they've been here for 4 years or 4 minutes. So, again, just, I never really knew when to, like, bring this up. Because I don't want it to sound like I'm scolding anyone. I don't want, like, things have been really good in the community recently. Like, things for the most part have been, like, really, really nice and chill. And people have been, like, very fun to hang out with during these streams. But, like, so, like, I didn't want to just, like, bring it up out of the blue and be like, ah, yeah, by the way, think about this. Now we're all in a bad mood. Because that's not what it should be. It's more of like, hey, this was a valid criticism that was, like, brought up to me specifically. And as someone who, like, sort of gets lost in it a little bit, lost in the sauce, I don't want that to be the entry experience for anyone. I love when new people join us and they are like, I like the vibe here and I want to stick around. That makes me really happy when I hear that. That makes me so fucking happy when I hear that. So, I hope I brought it up in a way that makes sense. You guys have been so receptive, especially during these, like, Power Wash streams where it's like we're literally playing, like, a game that's essentially was made as a meme that has become, like, our anti-anxiety chill vibe game. And we've been able to talk about some, like, really more serious things. And that's not to be like, you guys did good. Here's a cookie and a pat on the head. Like, I know most of you are, like, legally adults. And you have, like, insight into the world and experience with the world and such. It's less of that, and it's more of, like, it's just cool that, like, people can be civil and, like, talk about this shit. And we can bring it up in, like, an intelligent way. So, yeah. Coming in during the St. Jude month was the best way to be introduced to this community. See, there's, like, a theme. Like, I never feel weird about, like, people joining during St. Jude because St. Jude is chaotic on purpose. And, like, when people see it's like, oh, this is for, like a charity thing, like, of course the energy is like wacky. There's these weird challenges and everyone's like fucking memeing and everything. That is the perfect time for people to join, because like it's so silly already, and it's like assumed and expected to be silly, that like those moments are always like intentionally chaotic, and like there's a little bit more give then. It's just like a stream like this, if someone like joined that like wasn't really familiar with what we were about, and like everyone was just like saying in-jokes to them when they were like trying to like genuinely interact or find out what we were about. Like those are those moments where, like I said, it hasn't even just been just a single person. It's been multiple people who have been like, hey, yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable like talking in your chat for like 2 months, because I would ask like a sincere question and then I felt like I was in the wrong because people would just like be fucking weird and like meme at me instead of like just being genuine or nice. And it wasn't like that anyone was being mean, again. It's just like sometimes when we'd have like someone come in and they'd be like, hey, how's Borderlands 3 going tonight? And then people would just spam, oh, poop quesadilla at them. Like some weird in-joke that they had no context to. They'd be like, cool, I don't get that, so now I'm automatically on the outside. So,
Punch me in the boob.
Thanks for letting me talk about that. You guys are awesome. Like, seriously. Thank you very, very much, Amber, for the 15-month resub. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Shiro, what's up? Good to see you here, by the way. So I hope that was a natural segue into that conversation, because I want that to stick with people in the way that it's stuck with me, where it's like, yeah, we're going to laugh, we're going to have fun, we're going to talk about, I mean, fuck, I put up the VOD for the stream a few months ago that was like literally titled Pea-Flavored Jolly Ranchers. And I was like, oh my God, I remember this ridiculous stream. Like, what a stupid thing that we did. Like, we're going to have moments like those still. It's not like I'm taking the car keys away. We're going to make funny jokes. We're going to have in-jokes. We're going to be ridiculous meme lords for sure. But every now and then, like, if someone's, like, newer here, like, let's, you know, it's okay to pump the brakes, to break character. We don't always have to be method acting as, like, chaotic gremlins. I just came from watching Scott Pilgrim at a friend's house, so I now understand your alerts. Nice. How did you like the movie, Shira? Honestly, no answer is wrong, because even as a big fan of it, there are certain parts of it that have aged in ways I'm not the biggest fan of, but like, also it still is a near and dear movie to my heart. But I also like the graphic novel more, but that's me being like, well, actually the book was better type of person. Very much appreciate all those points, Brian. And I think another aspect that can play into it is that online, specifically, we sort of have a wariness about newcomers, wondering if they'll be friends or trolls. Yeah, absolutely. And like earlier, we had that guy who just like kept spamming me over and over, like, it's my birthday, so say this. And it's like, dude, I can literally click your profile and see you've never followed me before. This is your first time to the stream, and you're writing, you demand I do something. Like, fuck yourself. Like, fuck yourself and fall off a roof. Like, I don't care about you. You're here to cause trouble, I know that. You're gonna, like, clip me saying something, like, terrible and then, like, spread it around the internet. That's a bad actor. That is someone who's a dick on purpose. So you can, like, normally tell in those instances. But, like, absolutely, yeah, there is definitely, like, a wariness of, like, protect your flock. You know, like sometimes we will have, like, really obvious trolls show up. And then, like, some of you are absolute. This is not meant as an insult, but some of you are absolute fucking sweethearts to a fault almost sometimes. Where someone will come in with like the name like Big Ass Pumper 4, and they'll like write like some like copy pasta shitty like edgy meme lord thing. And someone in chat, like, without a doubt, will be like, I hope you're having, like, a really nice day. Welcome. And I'll be like, in my head, I'll just be like, no, guys. Like, please fucking, like, please please don't give this person attention. Like, please don't. Like, I know this person is here to make me, like, say, like, accidentally say a racial slur by, like, saying a bunch of words that are, like, unrelated and then stitch it together or something. Like, I know that they're here to do something, like, super shitty. Yeah, too nice for our own good. Right, and again, that's not meant as an insult. You guys are fucking sweethearts. You're, like, one of the nicest communities, like, on the planet. But every now and then, it's like a r/whoosh moment where it's like you're missing what's happening. Like you're enabling this person to do something shitty. Please don't. I used to be very oblivious to trolls like that, but have been modded for like 3 years. I can often tell if I'll eventually need to ban someone by the first message they send. Spidey sent. Yeah, and that is like that's a learned skill. And that's not me saying, like, don't say hi to anyone who joins. But it was more of, like, talking to Anna's point about, like, there's definitely, like, when we see newcomers, there's that sort of, like, red flag lookout moment where we're like, all right, what about this person isn't going to fit with us? Let's show them we're all united through, like, our in-jokes and our references and stuff. Like, there's almost like that subconscious urge to do that. And again, like, just bringing what I brought up, like, we don't, like, yeah, we're going to keep our guards up, we're going to be vigilant, but, you know, let me and the mods handle that. If someone, like, comes in the stream, and they seem like their intentions are pretty good, you know, just let them vibe out. No need for us to scare them away. That'll happen naturally over time by them just being here and exposed to whatever stupid shit I say. Thank you for the gifted sub to Risk It Ryan, by the way. I hope that you enjoy the emotes in the sub badge. Thank you. God, there's an ass pumper 18. Great. These fucking... These meme subs. Thank you, Anonymous, for spending... giving me half of that money and then Jeff Bezos half of that money. Thank you for that. The cousin of Clownfucker who got a gifted sub a while back. Oh, boy. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I hope that if Ass Pumper 18 drops by, they're actually a nice person and don't become a self-fulfilling prophecy to the hypothetical example I was trying to give. Thank you. Thank you very much for the gifted sub. Supporting the stream, even in the most chaotic way that I could possibly fucking think of. Also, sure, I did see your message earlier while I was in the middle of talking that you thought that Scott Pilgrim was confusing, but you enjoyed it. It is like, it's like visual candy. That movie had so many cool little, like, effects going on. The visual effects in it, the music is all, like, really good. It's a fun one. It's a really, really fun one. Scott Pilgrim's kind of a dickhead, and that's sort of the point. Like, a lot of people have been like, oh, Scott Pilgrim's a bad movie because Scott, the protagonist, is actually a nice guy type jerk. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. Like, even in the graphic novel, you're supposed to kind of hate him. And I get that that's a tired narrative to spin of like, oh, God, it's the nice guy with the heart of gold who's actually, like, really problematic. Oh, boy, like this again type of thing. I get it. I get that part. Watch it for Ramona Flowers. She fucking rocks. She's the best character, dude. I love Ramona Flowers. We also didn't have subtitles on, so my brain was all over the place, but what I got from it was Scott sucks and Ramona hot and damaged. Yeah, Ramona is honestly, and they make a point of talking about that in the graphic novel, is Ramona is the star of that series. Like, her storyline is so much more interesting than Scott's. Scott is like, boring, beige Canadian guy. Like, really, at the end of the day. But, as a movie, as a piece of media that's really not trying to spread any sort of, like, significant message or deep meaning of any sort, it's literally just visual candy with, like, a banging soundtrack and, like, some really fucking hilarious moments. It's a fun movie. It's really dumb. It's another one of those, like, you can kind of turn your brain off type of movie. I know multiple Scotts. Oh my gosh. You know the Scott Pilgrim. I mean, they're all probably the archetype, the template for him. Just like boring, beige, skinny white guy from Toronto. That's like my comics as a kid, accidentally making my main boring and the side characters dope AF. Hell yeah. I mean, that's a lot of comics, right? That's how a lot of, like, amazing characters came to be. Like, I love Batman, don't get me wrong. I really love Batman. I like Red Hood and Nightwing way fucking more. Everyone who's ever been associated with Batman and went off and did their own thing is way fucking cooler than Batman, in my opinion. I love Batman. He's great. He's been the star of a million awesome series in comics. But give me Nightwing is legitimately like my favorite DC character. I love Nightwing so much. So fucking cool. He's the human embodiment of plain white bread with a dollop of mold on the corner. He looks like Sid from Ice. Oh, okay, no, don't be mean about how Michael Cera looks. He's not the issue. Michael Cera's fantastic, as far as I know. I like Michael Cera. It's not his fault that he's sort of the dopey-looking guy. Hey, Sid is a fun time. Okay. No Michael Cera slander in this house. He had to play George Michael in Arrested Development. Like, the dopiest, like, most confused, like, teen boy of all time. So... Because Sid is the glue to the Found family. Okay, yeah. No slandering, we were just stating facts. Yeah, I mean, Scott Pilgrim, and that's the thing is, Brian Lee O'Malley, if you ever do decide to read the graphic novels that the movie's based off of, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Brian Lee O'Malley is very clear that Scott is like a morally, like, deficient idiot. Like, he's a hopeless man-child baby dum-dum who's funny at moments and does have, like, ultimately, like, a good heart. But, like, the person you want to root for is Ramona. Ramona fucking rocks. She's cool. She's got some heavy history, dude. I'm a Terry McGinnis guy because we got to see old Bruce, who's cranky AF and gives no craps about anything. Thank you, Darth Rudon. All right. Most slept on DC animated series of all time, in my opinion, is Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond, Terry McGinnis, fucking so good. So damn good. So good. Oh my god. They explore so many, like, continued what-if style storylines from the original Batman 90s, like, animated series. Well, not original, but the 90s Adventures of Batman series. Like, they do such a good job writing it. Oh my god, I'm geeking out even talking about it, obviously. Also, why the fuck was Anna Kendrick in that movie? She seemed so out of place. So Morgan and I talk about that all the time, right? She's kind of good casting as, like, the bratty, annoying sister, and it was before she was famous, or, like, at least, like, really big. So, like, it was one of her, like, earlier roles, but I don't know, she just, out of all of the actors in the movie, she's the weakest, for sure, in that movie. Batman Beyond is close second to Batman, the animated series for me. Yeah, same here as. I love Batman Beyond. Anytime there's any sort of reference, even to its existence in other media, I freak the fuck out. I get so excited because I love Batman Beyond. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, and you're someone who has the ability to watch it, highly recommended animated series. It takes a ton of the ideas introduced in Batman the Animated Series. It's canonically, I think it's like an alternative universe. I think it's an AU to Batman Animated Series, but it does very closely stick to that universe's storytelling. And it takes a lot of the old ideas from the 90s cartoon and brings them into that world in a really, really interesting way. And like was mentioned, Bruce Wayne, like the Bruce Wayne from the 90s series, is in it as this cranky, like, poop head. Batman Beyond is canon. Okay, so back when, this is my boomer brain not ever following up on things from when I was younger. When I was younger, it wasn't confirmed as canonically connected. There was, like, obviously that's back when people argued on, like, random forums on, like, game facts, like gamefaqs.com. So, like, people there would, like, argue, is this canonical or is it not? And there was, like, it wasn't confirmed yet. So the fact it has been confirmed, it makes it all the better to me. That is really, really awesome. I think she could play a great snarky little sister like that, but it did not work here. Yeah, I agreed, Shira. I read somewhere that the upcoming Batman movie with Robert Pattinson will have kind of the same vibes as the animated series. Let's say that I'm hyped. I'm hoping so, because, like, so a lot of people, obviously, you know, the Christopher Nolan trilogy is, like, their end-all be-all, like, favorite Batman. And to be fair, those movies were fun, especially at the time. They did sort of, like, you know, give, like, a more serious feel and take to, like, comic book hero movies that at the time were still very much considered cheesy and dumb. Granted, they've been memed to hell now. I mean, every time I see the name Rachel, I have to go, Rachel! I go, Rachel! Where is she? Rachel! Or if someone's like, where is she? Or where are they? I have to do that line. It's like a something, like a worm in my brain that I cannot get rid of. But, like, I'm very curious. I have to pick my words carefully because people get mad and very passionate about comic book shit. I really, really, really am confused. I was initially very confused by the casting of Robert Pattinson. Because he doesn't fit the idea of Batman, I guess, I and other media has already created in like the public perception. That's like the most, like, PC way I can say. Not PC way. What am I saying? It's not like what I'm saying is offensive. It's just I'm trying to not anger the Redditors out there. I found him a very interesting choice. Where is she? I say, looking for the peanut butter. I love that. It's one of my favorite lines in any movie. There's a commercial for some movie with a line, where is she, being shouted out, and I could only think of the Dark Knight scene, yeah. Where is she? Rachel! I don't know. It's so funny. Oh, God. Hot take, Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy was okay, but isn't stellar. Yeah, they definitely have aged. Like, the first time I watched them, because there was nothing quite like it at the time, we all were like, whoa, these movies fucking rule. And then as movies have gone on and we've seen, I guess, better writing and cinematography and pacing in other superhero movies, they're not, like, really the gold standard to me anymore. They're very good, but they're not like the gold standard. Batman Beyond is on HBO Max. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. HBO Max is a fantastic deal, by the way, if you need a streaming service. Not sponsored, by the way, but I love that sponsorship because it does have, like, all the DC stuff on it. Live action, cartoons, etc. It's great. Yes, here in the Girbeagly community, we hate Robert Pattinson. Brian is disgusted with Robert being the new Batman. Oh my God, taken out of context. Absolutely taken out of context. What the hell? Robert will always be my Edward, okay? I thought it was an interesting casting choice for him as Batman, as Bruce Wayne, but I am very fascinated. I'm very, very, very interested to see how the movie is done with him as a leading man. And he is someone who has proven time and time again he's a fantastic actor. He's a really, really good actor. So I think even if, like, from a physical standpoint, I can't quite see it yet, even with, like, the promo shots they've put up and stuff of him, I think his acting will make me forget all about it. I think I can see him pulling it off. I'm curious to see what sort of story they go with it, especially if they're tapping into, like Az was saying, the animated series from the 90s. I'm really thrilled about that because that was one of the first cartoons I remember on, like, oh, we got a message. I can give you some missing link facts based on what I've found so far if you like. Oh boy, some Bigfoot conspiracy theory facts. Should be fun. I love the animated series because it was the first time I remember watching a cartoon during, like, a primetime, like, mainstream TV spot meant for, like, kids' cartoons and seeing some of the dark psychological themes that, like, were kind of, like, really edgy at the time. I'm very, very excited to see that brought to life. Like, they sort of did a little bit of it in the Christopher Nolan movies. Like, you know, I was really hoping they were going to develop, like, you know, Scarecrow a lot more, because Scarecrow, when I was a kid, was, like, the most fucked up villain, because, like, sure, you can be, like, a super-powered, angry monster mutant that can, like, punch through a brick wall. That is scary, physically imposing, but you can't escape your mind. And if something fucks with your mind, I mean, like, Scarecrow, like, literally just, like, gave people mental illness. That's horrifying. Or, like, preyed on their mental illness. That's terrifying. That is so scary. And even as a kid, I was like, he's spooky. Like, the fact he can, like, make you see things that aren't there. That's, like, super spooky. Laura, thank you for the 10 months in double digits. Can we actually get some very, very awesome Pride spam going in the chat for the double digits worth of resubs? That's so nice of you. Thank you very, very much. Really do appreciate all the support. Remember, guys, if you're having debates about, this is why I am always careful when I kick the bee's nest about comics. Be respectful to each other. Be awesome. What I really want to see is DC not trying to force edgy like they do a lot. Like, there's a certain way to go about it. And DC has repeatedly proven that, like, they just really want to sell stuff at Hot Topic. Brian, I'm so high I forgot numbers earlier. Are we talking about, like, a specific number, like a phone number, your address? Or are we talking about, like, the existence of numbers as a concept? Because those are two very different highs. I have to leave now. Bye, Brian, in chat. Shermua, take care. Thank you so much for chilling. Love a good debate as long as it doesn't devolve into arguing. Yes. Yes. No, like, all numbers. Oh, God. No judgment here. I went to college. The thing about the difference between, like, what I want, and I've brought this up before, but, like, I have to bring it up again because I'm a dork. But they need to get more of their animated series writing team. You know, you got fucking animated movies that are bangers. Like, Batman Under the Red Hood is, like, one of the best animated, like, movies I've seen from a DC property in decades. It's so good. Or there's, like, the writers of the comics, the writers of, like we were saying, the animated series, Batman Beyond, the original Teen Titans, stuff like that is all super good. Really, really good. It makes the characters have flaws and be very human and prone to not just physical defeats, but psychological worries and defeats. It makes them feel very relatable in that way. It makes them have these moments where they break out of their archetypical personas of, like, I'm the good guy who never kills, to I'm about to beat this man to death with my hands, and someone else has to step in and stop me. And that is something that I need them to bring those writers on for the live action stuff, because otherwise we get shit like the live action Titan series, which I don't know if any of you have watched that, but the big, like, selling point of it is, like, Robin kills someone in it, and says the word fuck. That's forced edginess. That's not like, oh, he's a human now because he isn't like a Boy Scout anymore. It's like, it's the fucking, like, God, it's weird. It's so jilted and like artificial feeling. And if with the new movie, they're trying to bring like the nuance of like those complex psychological like demons that haunt like Bruce Wayne on a daily basis into that, I see Robert Pattinson. I see him pulling it off because he can go to a dark place with his acting. Contrived perplexity, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, contrived, like, edginess, like, for the sake of being edgy, of, like, oh, he's so tough now because he says the F word. It's just so weird. I don't know. Like, all the DC animated universe, yeah, agreed, Bree. Like, the animated universe is the best DC. It does a great job. The live actions, they have their moments. They hit their strides every now and then, but they don't hit it the same way. And maybe part of that's the sort of there's the psychological effect of an animated series. There's a willing suspension of disbelief automatically. You see an animated character and you go, okay, these wacky things happening on stream, these are acceptable because they come with the territory of it being a cartoon. Whereas it's sort of harder to sell that image. It's harder to sell that feeling, that cohesiveness, when it's live action. You get pulled out of sort of like what's going on when it's like a little bit too weird with live actors. So I can give live action that as sort of like a buffer of why it hasn't caught up to the animated universe yet. But also, like, Marvel's knocking it out of the fucking park with Marvel movies and TV shows and shit. DC is better at animated stuff. Marvel is better at live action. Absolute, billion, million fucking percent. Brimey, take care. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Get some good rest. Can't wait for you to punch me. I agree with that 100%. I'm actually not super impressed by especially modern Marvel animated stuff. But their live action stuff, I will watch over and over and over again. I like it. I love the way that they work references into classic stuff. I think they do a really good job of it. And granted, they have a lot of funding with Disney at the helm now. And Disney's very good at that emotionally manipulative, like, punch they put into everything of, like, oh, man, we're going to make you really fucking care about these characters, and then we're going to do something that makes your heart fall out of your fucking body. Like, they're really good at that emotional manipulation because they've been doing it for decades. But, like, DC, again, have access to really good comic writers. And it seems to only translate into their animated stuff. I care so little about, like, the live-action DC characters most of the time when I'm watching those movies. Because the plot lines seem, like, really forced and, like, rushed. The characters, like, have these, like, weird, jilted dialogue lines that sound like they're comic book lines. I think what Marvel's really good at is writing superheroes as human beings first. Like, they write their alter egos first. They're, like, camouflage human egos. And then they write the superhero aspects of those characters. And I feel like that's the way that the writing differs, where it feels comic booky when DC characters talk to each other. It's, like, quippy, and there's, like, yeah, there's, like, banter that, like, just doesn't feel natural a lot of the times. I think that's what puts me off. Is I'll be like, haha, that was a funny line, but man, it kind of like broke the immersion of like this really sad scene or something. Whereas like Marvel does this like really good job of making you care about them as people, and then like they happen to be superheroes, and I like that more in a movie because I'm there to not watch a moving comic book. Like, yes, I am, because I'm a dork and I love comics, and I love geeking out over like, oh, I got that reference. Oh my god, I can't believe they referenced this thing from like the 80s comic storylines I grew up with. But like, I still want it to be like a good film. Like, if I didn't know anything about it, I still want it to be a good movie at the end of the day. I find it hard to put stakes into live-action DC because they're so prone to rebooting. Their roots are much less stable. That, too, that is something that's really shot them in the foot over and over again, is they have a much more fractured, like, multiverse going on. Like, where they're like, oh, here's this, like, really serious, heavy Joker movie. By the way, not related to Suicide Squad, not related to any of the Batman movies, just its own thing. Oh, here, by the way, we're going to introduce all these characters in this other origin story movie. This is not the same origin movie as, like, this other thing. And Spider-Man suffered from that for a very long time on Marvel's side of things, but that's because Sony owned the rights to Spider-Man, and then they had to do their, like, wacky deal where they, like, reformatted everything, where it just, like, you had to, like... you had to, like, read the fine print that was like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is not the same as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and neither of them are Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And that was confusing, but they also they've already talked about this. They've already announced this. There's going to be a movie that sort of brings some of those loose ends together, which is, like, really cool that they're even... And there's a lot of Marvel media that is hinting at, and obviously please no spoilers in chat, guys, but hinting at some sort of like multi-universal crossovers. DC is doing a really bad job at like making people care about their characters because they like basically pump them and dump them. It's one of those situations where they like pump out a movie and then they go, okay, that's the last time we're going to talk about this movie because now we're focusing on this other continuity instead. There is no continuity for people who are new to the franchise. And now because, like, you know, now that there's, like, it's trendy to make comic book movies and everyone watches them, like, even in the mainstream, like, it's hard for those, like, brand new people to comic books to jump into a DC movie and go, oh, yeah, like, to be like, I recognize these heroes. Like, they'll be like, I can recognize these heroes because they're classic heroes, but they'll be like, oh, yeah, I saw the Superman movies from the 1990s. That's so cool. And then they'll be like, those are not taking place in the same universe. And that's very confusing, like, to people who aren't used to comic books. That's very confusing to, like, people's grandmas. It's hard to connect the dots. And DC, I think, is a lot more scattered in that way, which is, like, a bummer. And then, like, their TV shows aren't canonical a lot of the time, and just shit like that. Just, like, tough. So what I liked about the final crisis that happened on all their DC shows, it brought all those different universes to light from the 60s, and the 89 Batman, of course, the Flash from the 1990s. Yeah, continuity is something that, and that's the thing, is like, if you've read comic books, there are multiple versions of Earth. There are multiple versions of, like, of the events going on in the universe to superheroes, scattered across a multiverse. Like, at any given time, like, I can pick up a comic book today where the events of it have no bearing on another member of, like that's about one Avenger that has no bearing on the events of what's happening in a different Avengers storyline. But they do this really good job, and DC Comics do a really good job of being like, oh, this was actually part of a saga that is like the Infinite Crisis, or like this war, or like this invasion of this species, or Marvel's doing like King in Black right now, and stuff like that. And like they find a way to link it. and tell you, like, this is the main storyline. And the movies don't have a way of doing that yet. And the shows don't really have a way of doing that quite as much yet. And it's very hard. And it becomes, like, convoluted for, like I said, like, people who are new to the series or, like, old people who just want to watch, like, a movie with their grandkids. So it's tough. 616 continuity versus ultimate continuity, for instance. Yeah, that's a great example of one. Is, like, the ultimate continuity has nothing to do with 616. Really think they just create 101 stories for 101 heroes and villains, and because nothing makes sense, they just smear the alternate universe idea all over the 101 movies to connect things. Nothing with everything. Well, I mean, yeah, that is what they do. They just go, these are not related. They're part of a different multiverse, part of a different universe, or like timeline or whatever. And that's acceptable. That's fine because that's something comics have done since the fucking like 60s. But you got to find a way to make it clear to the audience you're aiming at. I'm old and I want to watch a movie with my grandkids. There's no way my great-great-aunt would understand today's AUs. She's even said she's used to the 50s superhero content stuff. Yeah, right. Exactly. So, just like one of those things that, like, there has to be simplistic ways of linking. Like, you can tell as complicated and as, like, wild and out there stories as you want, which I think Marvel's really good at that. But you need a way for it to fit in to the overarching story you've already told. And Marvel is way better at that than DC right now. Marvel's really good at being like, hey, at the end of Loki, here's this nod to this other thing. Or like, hey, at the end of like this Marvel movie, oh man, cameo by this superhero that you saw in 2 movies ago. And people can go, oh, okay, yeah, so the events of this, like, deal with this. And, like, that's really smart and good. And I don't feel like DC has that sort of cohesiveness yet. And they don't have, like, a team. Like, they have the Justice League, but, like, the way that they, like, really quickly introduce them into, like, their central, like, thing, makes sort of that, like, the at this point, like, the years and years, that over a decade of storytelling and building up of a universe that Marvel's done, like, to link all the pieces together and make people familiar with, like, what's going on in their shows and movies, DC doesn't have that. It feels, like, really rushed. Marvel is definitely, like, 3 years ahead, at least with their story writing. Yeah. And I'm not saying I dislike DC stuff. I still watch all the DC stuff. Don't get me wrong. I don't, like, hate DC. I actually, like I said, I love Nightwing. One of my favorite, a character I hope they explore way more. But there's a lot of stuff that they need to work on with their movie storytelling, in my opinion, that would, like, make it more enjoyable, not just for, like, comic nerds like me, but, like, people who are brand new and, like, want to fall in love with these characters, you know? Like, they want to, like, they need a reason to stick around and, like, give a shit, really, you know? So, yeah. Whereas DC doesn't seem like they're planning it ahead and just going with what they think will sell up against what Marvel's doing. Yeah, exactly, right. I feel like I feel like DC goes, hey, what sold really well over the past 10 years? Oh, Batman stuff? Oh, people like the Joker? They're still making Joker memes online? Let's make a Joker movie. Let's do something, but let's do it different this time. Let's make it gritty, because that will sell really well. And people were talking about how, like, they like the grittiness of, like, Infinity War that, like, Marvel did. Let's do something that's, like, got, like, a little more punch and, like zest to it. But, like, Marvel, like, as insane as it is to see, and honestly, it's, like, really overboard in my opinion, Marvel has this, like, fucking roadmap where it's like, for the next 25 years, here are the next 18 phases of Marvel movies that are going to come out. We're going to be doing Doctor Strange 8 in 2035. And, like, it's just, like, it's fucking nuts. They have a roadmap, and they've like already kind of written the framework of what's gonna happen. Ryan Reynolds is a great actor, is an amazing Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is genuinely the perfect pick for Deadpool. He was sort of like born to play that role. It's fantastic Deadpool, absolutely. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to work him into the MCU since that's been confirmed now. Because the whole thing is like Deadpool, yes, haha, funny, silly meme Marvel character. He does have a lot of storylines that are really important to the overarching like story arcs of saving the like universe and stuff in Marvel continuity. Marvel's biggest advantage is they know what they want to do so far ahead of time. Usually stick with it. Absolutely. 100%. I feel so bad for the contract locked actors for like 15 years. Yeah, me too, Tito. That's like something that, always gets brought up over the years, like time and time again in the media of like, they really do lock these actors into like these weird exclusivity contracts and stuff, or just not even like exclusivity contracts, just like you will make 8 movies with us. And that's insane. And it's like cool they got guaranteed work and they get to like play a character that they really make theirs. And some of them like do really seem to enjoy it, but that's a hell of a commitment to like get locked into. Like, it's just like very, 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 very hard, like heavy. We got to hop off for the night because I have class in the morning, but thanks for the vibes, everyone. Fables, thanks so much for chilling out with us and listening to me geek out for the past, like, holy fuck, I've been talking about geeky comic book shit for like 45 minutes. I've returned. Welcome back. Why not? They do that for music artists too, and it kind of sucks. Yeah, they do. It's really bad in the music industry. That's something Morgan and I talk about a lot as well, of just how archaic, how draconian like music contracts and like payouts and stuff are set up, licensing. The whole music industry needs a gigantic overhaul. It is such a fucking slow plotting, shitty old machine that needs to change and needed to change 10 years ago. They'd have to get paid for that, but 15 years, right. That's a huge chunk of your life when you think about it. Also gonna dip for the night. Shiro, take care. Thanks for hanging out. I remember Sebastian Stan posted something recently about 10 years of playing Bucky, and it makes my head hurt. Yeah, and Sebastian Stan's so interesting, because, like, he's someone who, like, I think he likes, I'm guessing he probably likes playing Bucky. He does a really good job at it, at the very least. Like, I think he's, like, a really good casting for that character. But he, like, withdrew from, like, social media and society and shit when he saw how, like, fucking insane Marvel, like, fans were getting. Like, he shrunk back away from the limelight. Whereas, like, a lot of, like, the Marvel cast, like, definitely embraced their newfound hireability and fame and renown. He's definitely someone who, like, and has apparently openly talked about this in, like, interviews and stuff. Like, he doesn't like that people are so, like, fucking psychotic to him, basically, about him playing a character. Tiger Lily, thank you very much for the 2-month resub. That's super nice of you. Always nice to see someone coming back as a 2-month sub. Really do appreciate that a lot. Means a ton that you liked your first month so much, you re-upped. That's really, really cool. Like, thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Seriously. Holy shit, we have so much. We're at 24% watch. I feel like I should be watching something that... Maybe I should concentrate on washing a little bit more. Otherwise, this is going to be like a 4 stream days worth of washing this one map. This is crazy, dude. This is 24%. I did not look at that number until now. Like, the last time we looked at it, I was like, oh, 12%. Holy shit. Why is it going so slow? I'm going to pick up the pace. What happened, dude? How am I at 24%? And it's 1:30 in the morning, so I gotta end very soon also. Crap! This is gonna be like a 3-day streamer. This map's gonna take forever, dude. Oh my god, dude. All you gotta do is stream extra late. No. I'm trying to get out of that habit. I'm trying to not stream as late so I can start streaming earlier the next day. Don't be a bad influence on me. We talked about Batman and Marvel. We did. That's how this happened. Batman and Marvel. Yeah, it is very distracting. If you ever want to get me off track when I'm talking about anything, literally bring up comic books. You can ask Morgan. I am such a fucking comic geek. I've read. Let me see. I can pull up the Marvel Unlimited app right now. And tell you exactly how much I've read. In the past month and a half, I have read $400 of comic books. I've read $400 worth of comic books in a month and a half. And that's while playing Final Fantasy XIV for like 8 hours a day. That is with doing sponsored work every week. That is with streaming every week. That is with clearing my business email box. That's only during like the couple hours that I'm on my phone before I go to sleep at night. You ran about comics the way I ran about Mr. Robot. I actually have still not seen Mr. Robot. And I feel like bad about that because everyone was telling me it was a really, like, I guess it's just FOMO, but like everyone was telling me that show was really good. And I never checked it out. I heard it was super good and everyone was raving about it. And now I feel like no one talks about it ever. And I'm like, did I miss the train? If I like get like really into it now, will anyone give a shit? Will I have friends to talk to about it? I don't know. Gotta hate FOMO. Me too. I try not to fall for it because at the end of the day, FOMO kind of comes from a place of like artificially inserting yourself into like feeling like you belong just because you like consumed a piece of media or something for the most part. Like that's where a majority of FOMO seems to come from. And I try not to fall for that, but every now and then I'm like, man, everyone said this was really good. And I am like, I just didn't have the time to watch it yet, I guess. The first season of Mr. Robot is some of the most compelling television. Okay, that right there is, that's not just a review you say if you're like a casual fan of something. That is like that's like a review of something. That is like the difference between being like, hey man, how do you like your steak? Ah, it's all right. And hey man, how do you like your steak? I love how succulent this steak is, and it just melts in your mouth. It's cooked to perfection. The fingerling potatoes on the plate are a perfect complement to the texture and the flavor that the steak provides. Like that's the difference right there. Like you do not say compelling television, some of the most compelling television, unless you fucking mean that. So now I guess I have to watch it. Now I want steak, me too. Mr. Robot was supposed to be a movie, but they liked it, so they turned it into a TV show. That's so cool. I did not know that. I like learning like little trivia bits like that. That's neat. So it was that good that they were like, no, we have to like draw this out. I guess I have to check it out. I really guess I have to check that out. I've been kind of looking for a new TV show to watch at night. Because Morgan and I will, what we do is we get on the couch at nighttime and we like have like a bedtime snack and we like hang out and we like catch up. If I've been like working all day or she's been doing her work all day or something. And we'll catch up on the couch and we'll normally, well, we just finished Loki and that was kind of fun. Actually, it was like very fun. Ending felt a little bit rushed, but I know they only ordered 6 episodes for the first like go of it, so it is what it is. But I have high hopes for the ideas that they introduced into it. But I'm very, very, very much someone who likes shows that I can get like really invested in, that are like unique concepts, unique ideas, like a little bit weird and out there. Like I'm not like a big like slice of life drama guy. Every now and then one hits just right, but like I don't really like sitcoms that much, and I'd rather watch something with like a compelling story. So we watched Loki, we watched WandaVision, we watched all the Marvel stuff, obviously. But normally what we do is we just throw on like highlights of like live streams. Like Germa, that I brought up a number of times, one of my favorite streamers, one of Morgan and my favorite streamers, has a stream archive channel that we've been putting on his VOD, sort of like we have a VOD channel. We just watch his VODs like they're movies. So that's what we normally do at night, but I've been kind of missing like having a story-based show to watch. So maybe Mr. Robot will be the next thing that we dive into. I'll see. I'll do a little bit of reading on it. Obviously nothing to spoil it, but just like more research than I have to see if it's the type of flavor that I want to add into my life. So I just watched the first season of the show Evil. It's genuinely wild. I don't know that one. I feel like I should. Evil. Is that the one about the, like, fucking bank robbery? Or am I thinking of a different one? I think I'm thinking of Evil Genius. That's on Netflix. Rami Malek's best acting was him as King Tut. Wait, what? What was he, King Tut in? I'm so sorry I don't know the reference off the top of my head. Been watching so much Germa since March. I'm going through a Germa hyperfixation right now. Oops. I mean, I like Germa because he's just a regular dude. And he's my age, which always makes me go, huh. You know, he's my age. He has 500,000 followers on Twitch. Not that out of the question that someday I hit like 100,000 or something. I'd love to hit 100,000 followers on this platform. I think that'd be really fun. That'd be a cool milestone to get to. But he has like, you know, sort of like the everyday guy attitude, and I like that about Germa a lot. He's just really goofy and weird. There's a lot of content of he's been on the internet for a long fucking time, so there's a lot of content for you to catch up on if you are not someone who's a Germa boomer like me, who's been watching him for like fucking 6 or 7 years or some insane stuff. Evil is on Netflix. It's a CBS show about a psychologist and a priest in training that investigate demons. Okay, that sounds actually kind of fucking interesting. Just as someone who, A, was raised in religion and then left it because I wasn't a big fan of that stuff. And no offense to anyone who is. As long as you're someone who doesn't force your beliefs on others and is just, you know, vibing. You're fine by me here. And as someone who worked in psychology for years. That sounds really cool, actually. And like something that where it's like that, I like that like trope of, oh, is it actually supernatural or is it all like in someone's head? I like that, like, figure it out type of thing. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. See y'all later. Laura, take care. Thank you so much for dropping by. Seriously. Only religion I believe in is food. That's a religion a lot of people are into, and I'm fine with that one for sure. It's very cool. I like it a lot. Cool. Germa feels like the eccentric friend at the sleepover who always brings his Xbox 360, and I love it. That is genuinely a really good description of him. And it would be like a sleepover today in 2021, and he'd still be bringing the Xbox 360 specifically. Yeah, that's That's a very accurate description of who Germa is. Again, one of my favorite streamers. He's really fucking weird. Very bizarre dude, but I've had the pleasure of watching him for a very long time, years and years and years and years at this point, since he was a pretty small-sized, unknown, obscure YouTuber, and seen him make... He was part of the... Actually, if you guys want to know something, he is part of my inspiration for taking the leap from YouTube to Twitch, to mainly doing Twitch. I originally did not want to make the leap over to Twitch, despite YouTube having a very negative impact on my mental health. And he is someone who had a really, like, his YouTube channel was, like, really starting to get very successful. And he took a step back and just became pretty much an exclusive streamer. And I wouldn't have been pushed in the direction that I'm in right now, where, you know, I've been taking this, like, hiatus from YouTube. I'm definitely going to return at some point to make content because I would like to. But right now, like, streaming just makes more sense to me. It's more fun for me. It's something that I truly get a lot of enjoyment out of and regularly feel really passionate about and excited to do. I haven't, like, hit a wall with it where I'm like, oh, streaming. Yuck, I have to do this because people expect me to or anything. Like, I'm not there with streaming at all, and I hope I don't get there. Streaming has become, like, so fucking great. So glad you're streaming tonight. I just got here even though I feel like you're about to end. Yeah, sorry, Slap the Frog. We are wrapping up very soon here. He's smart, too, because he uses his VODs to make YouTube content. Best of both worlds, he's happier. Yeah. So he hired, like, an editing team to, like, edit down his VODs into, like, highlight videos and upload, like, the full VODs. So he's covered all bases. He's super smart about it. And his content gets, like, hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. And it's amazing. It's really great. Because, like you said, he's gotten to maintain that presence on YouTube in some way. But he doesn't have to worry about doing the exact same thing as me that he burn out on. Because you record a YouTube video, you're really excited and energetic, and then you edit it, and you're like, holy fuck, I'm exhausted now, and I'm sitting here with, like, all my anxieties and thoughts, and it takes up so much time, and people expect so much out of just, like, each video, and you just, like, hit this point where you're like, I'm really tired. Where streaming is, like, you're hanging out with the people who want to hang out with you every day, and it's really fun. It's so fucking fun to do this. Like, I really fucking love doing this. And he was a humongous inspiration for me to, and again, because part of it is because we're similar age, and I was like, is it too late to get into the, like, Twitch game? Is it, like, stupid for me to throw away all this work that I did on YouTube? And then I was like, it's not throwing it away, it's just putting it on the back burner for now. That's okay. He was a huge inspiration for me to do what I do now, and I am so much happier. And I really, really hope that people have enjoyed my transition over to making Twitch content more often. I main Twitch versus I used to be a YouTube main. And I hope that it's something like I was talking about earlier. Like, I know it's something that's created, like, a really fun, awesome, welcoming, chill community for people. You seem more at home here? That's nice of you to say. I like that. That's a really cool way to put it. Thank you. I just fell and broke my legs. I'm very glad because I love it here. Aw. And like I said, for those of you who are, like, YouTube OGs, who have been around since I did YouTube regularly and used to, like, put up daily, every other day videos, you know, just regular videos all the time. I'm not gone from YouTube forever. I've seen people say that online in various places that I quit YouTube, and I'm, like, disappointing for doing that. I did not quit YouTube. I'm taking an extended break. It's what my brain needs right now, and when I'm ready and I feel inspired and excited, I will make YouTube videos again. And I know it's just a matter of time before I hit that. But I think at this point, it's safe to say that my preferred content of choice will probably always be live streaming. I love the energy I get by engaging with a live audience. I love the jokes we can make on the fly. I love being able to feel like I'm talking to people, really, is like the big thing. Like, I give back what I'm given. It's really fun, and it's a lot easier to communicate with you guys and like catch up with what you're doing. Like Az saying here, Az is saying it's a bit late for good news, but I'm getting my first vaccine shot tomorrow. Az, congrats to you. We're so happy for you. I hope that it makes you feel a lot safer. Thank you for helping do your part by getting that. And yeah, it's it's never too late for good news. It's never too late for good news. You can share that at any time. And I like having stream-specific, like, references and like we were talking about, like, jokes and, like, just memes and whatever. Like, it's so fucking fun to be here. Like, you guys are awesome. You guys are really, really awesome. And I'm not saying the YouTube crowd isn't. For the most part, I harbored a very cool community over in YouTube as well. Very supportive, very chill, for the most part. But, I don't know. Things would sometimes get, like, weird there. I don't know. It's like comment sections are so different. Like static comment sections where you put up a comment and it's just there forever on the internet is really different than you guys typing in chat and me being able to reply to what I want to in chat here. It's cool. Girbeagly tour when? People, for a long time, like, obviously, like, when live shows were, like, the big thing, like, when we were allowed to have them, doing, like, someone said they wanted me to do a, like, Markiplier style You're Welcome tour. Obviously not, like, doing, like, the same shit that they did, or have, like, an ensemble or anything, but, like, people were like, Brian, you should do a live show. And I don't think I have the audio. Like, I don't know if... No offense to you guys. You're amazing and you're incredibly supportive. And you come out in droves when you want to support me. But I don't have, like, the audience to, like, fill like, an auditorium. Or, like, a theater or something. I do not... we just don't have the numbers for it, logistically. Sure, 20,000, almost 21,000... people follow me here. You know, like, if you add up all my social media, I have like 100,000+ followers or something crazy. Like, huge amount of people. But at the same time, that's not going to guarantee that we're going to get a theater of, like, 150, 200 people filled at every location I go to. That's a very hard logistical thing to do. So even though I technically have the connections, like, I've literally talked to the people at, like, Real Good Touring and stuff before, logistically, it wouldn't make sense to try to do a tour right now. If this community grew to a ridiculous size, like I'm saying, like, my goal, and I think it's good to set goals, and it's not like me being like, I want more, you guys aren't enough. It's nothing like that. I'm very fucking happy where I am at right now. But growth is always, like, a nice thing to see. If we ever get to, like, 100,000, like, followers here, I'd definitely think about it. I really, really do like the idea of live entertainment. Like, I was a theater kid. I can't get that out of my fucking blood. I like to perform. I like to just be a goofball in front of a live audience and get, like, the energy that I'm putting out there back in some form, whether it's laughter, applause, some sort of interaction is so cool to me. And that's why live streaming feels like, it just feels like a stage production sometimes. Like, I'm not acting, but I am doing, like, a really honest live show every night. So I would love to do a live show at some point. but it's not a feasible thing with the size of our community and the like. We're a very laid back, chill, awesome community, and like you guys will do stuff like we sold out the merch again. Like that's crazy. Like stuff like that is like wild. But when it comes to like physically asking people, especially not right now with all the horrible things still happening with COVID, I would not want to ever risk this community to do a live show in like a theater or something. But like, is that in my plans for the future? I'd fucking love that. Even if it take like, if I'm like a 40-year-old doing like a weird stand-up fucking show, like tour, then it is what it is. Maybe some of you will be there. We'll see. But 100K, I think that's doable for this community. I bet we could grow to 100K. I think that'd be really fucking cool. Let's get there. Let's fucking do it. Let's set it up. Let's spread the word. Let's welcome, like I said, welcome new people into the community when they come by. That'd be neat. I spit water because I laughed at things in here. You did a spit take? I was in one play and I really want to get back into acting so bad. I mean, it's fun as hell. 100K by 2K 30. Let's set the goal. I know you were like away during that talk, but Geo King Shark, hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Just to give you a heads up, we are kind of winding down here. I keep saying that, and then I'm like, I go longer and longer. Oh my god, it's 2. I fucking did it again. I did it again. Holy shit. Oh, God. I'm not going to stream till 2. Guess what happened? Chat? Streamed to number after 1. Yet again. I did it again. Continue spring. Well, we're at 29%. I have to get the 30% now, right? Late night gang. God, Jesus. I love that we're late night gang. But also, I gotta get on a better schedule than this. This is gonna fucking kill me. I'm old, guys. I'm gonna die. Plus, I want to, like, I don't want to go to bed at, like, fucking 4 in the morning anymore. Because I know what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if I'm like, I want to go to bed earlier. I'm going to get off this stream, and then I'm going to, like, dick around on my computer for an hour, and then I'm going to, like, eat a snack for an hour, and then I'm going to go to bed at 4 in the morning. And I'm not going to wake up until, like, fucking 1 p.m. or something stupid. Like, that's what's going to happen now. This is why I can't stream till 2. I keep doing this to myself. Holy shit. I do this so often. Anytime you see me stream till 2, that's my schedule the next day, by the way. Fuck. You take an hour to eat a snack? Yeah, because I, like, watch TV and, like, hang out with my girlfriend. We, like, vibe. And I normally like to, like, I'm like the fucking psychopath that it's not just me. I'm not just eating a snack. I make, like, a fucking production out of it. I'm like, all right, it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. That means it's not too late to make fucking, like, pasta and meatballs, dude. Yeah, but an hour? Yeah. If that's a hard concept for you to understand, I'm so sorry to you. That's a you thing. But I'll make a whole fucking, like, 2-3 course meal. Like at like 3 in the morning. because I'm psychotic. Brian is a psychopath who I adore. Oh, God. Yeah. All right. We need to make a recipe from scratch. Stat. Yeah. I will be like, I have pasta. I have these seasonings. Time to become like Wolfgang Puck for the next like hour for some reason. Or I'll do something like I'll be like, I'm just gonna make like Chef Boyardee. Like I'm like, I got a can of like SpaghettiOs in the pantry. But what if I also add this leftover grilled chicken and like all these other things to it, and it's never just a snack. It just becomes this like fucking awful production. It just gets insane over time. Nothing beats 3 a.m. manicotti. Oh my God. I haven't had manicotti in so long, and now I really want it. God damn it. Why would you do that? Oh wait, we're at 30%. I gotta fucking stop. I need to take my hands off the wheel. I gotta go. Maisie, IHOP and Denny's menus all night, every night. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, I've cooked eggs at 2 in the morning. I've made like a submarine sandwich. I've like cooked pasta. I don't know. It's not just a snack ever. It's like a full ass meal. Or it will start as a snack. Like I'll eat some chips. And then I'm like, well, you know, it was just chips. Those were just like empty calories. It's time to have a sandwich with my chips. But if I have a sandwich with my chips, I should have a soup to dip it in. And then it just builds. It becomes this horrific, terrible, crazy thing. It's just nuts. Yeah, munch on one thing and then, like, I get an idea, like, I'm gonna create something. Right. It's never just a snack. Every now and then, I will get, like, just chips and candy. And I'll be okay with that. But normally it's because, like, I ate, like, a big dinner or something like that. So I occasionally don't eat like a total idiot at night. Chips and dip, and then ends up as a full course 5-star meal with foods no one has ever heard of, and then somehow he ends up in a cookbook. I would honestly, if I could like actually devote myself to cooking again, because like some of you know, like I love cooking. Like cooking is one of my fun hobbies that I do. I've kind of fallen off like over the past year, again, like lack of like motivation because of like lockdown and whatever. I haven't been cooking nearly as much as I used to, but I used to love making homemade recipes. I would love to make a cookbook at some point. If I went like the like binging with Babish like route and like I just made like a YouTuber cookbook instead of like doing the typical YouTuber route of like writing an autobiography that like ends up at the Dollar Tree, maybe that'd be kind of neat. Brian out here making whole meals for snacks, so I'm out here having snacks for meals. I think that's my problem though too, Henixis, is I do that inverse thing where like it will be like 3 p.m. and I'll be like out shopping and I'll be like, you know what? I ate a Slim Jim and drank a Gatorade. That counts as a meal for right now. I'll eat a big meal later. And then I do, but like I do something like unhealthy and stupid like that to myself. Only Brian is on to talk about snack for another hour. Yeah, God, I gotta get the hell out of here. What the hell? All right, chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. Seriously, thank you so much for watching me spray imaginary water at fake buildings again. I'm loving the treehouse so far. It's really fun. At the rate we're going, I'm assuming this really will be another 2 streams before we ever finish it. I think that's gonna be just the truth of the matter. There's no avoiding it at this point. I do hope that everyone had a good time here tonight. I really do. We had some really good talks about stuff. Sorry that like 45% of the conversation was dominated by me just fangirling over Marvel because and DC stuff. Like I'm the biggest comic book nerd. I love comics so much. They're so fun to me. There's something that like brought me a lot of comfort when I was a kid. So just like sort of like, I don't know, it sticks with me. We're going to 100K. We're gonna do 100K. We're going to the moon. It's gonna happen. Gerbcoin to the moon. 100K followers. I'm gonna say safe estimate. Something's gonna happen. Here's how I feel about it. This is gut feeling. This is just me putting my hubris and my desires out into the universe a little bit. We're going to have a stream that ends up, for whatever reason, going viral. We're going to do something wacky. We're going to do something fun that's going to attract a lot of new people into this community. Whether that be like a collaboration with like someone else I know, or it being something that like is unique to this community. It's going to happen. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to keep doing the streams that I do, but something weird's going to happen. And it's going to blow us up, and we're going to take off. I'm going to say 100K by the end of next year. 100K next year is my goal. We're setting it. You mentioned earlier rating Jordan if he was still on. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Fuck. Is he still on? Let me check. For a little bit of perspective, last year I had about, I think it was like 10,000, 12,000 less followers, something crazy like that. I can't remember. 9,000. I had a lot less followers last year at this point than I do right now. Like a lot. Like that's crazy to think about. Jordan. Okay, Jordan is doing cursed modded. Of fucking course he is. Jordan is doing cursed modded Resident Evil 2 right now. So if you don't do well with horror games, this might be a good entry point for you, because apparently there's just like weird mods on what is normally a pretty scary game, but it makes it like goofier. So if you want to go watch someone who is also almost as chaotic as me, much like we were talking about Ashley earlier, Jordan is another one of my like very close friends, like really good guy. I'm going to be visiting them very soon, or not very soon, but sometime before the end of the year, I'm going to be visiting Jordan and we'll do stuff together. But we're going to go raid Jordan. Got to go. All right, Az, take care. Thank you so much for chilling. We are going to raid Jordan, one of my really, really good friends. And to raid Jordan, we're going to say... This is going to be the raid message. I'm going to spam it a couple times in the chat. So, copy-paste this. We're gonna copy-paste that when we go over there. So, that is the raid message. Just do it one time. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I love these Sunday no facecam streams because I get to be naked and no one knows, and we get to have fun talks about shit. Best of both worlds, Hannah Montana. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wind down here, though. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for all the follows, the bits, the subs, the resubs, the gifted subs, the donations. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are all wonderful. Thanks for allowing me to do this. Just a chaotic, weird-ass motherfucker on the internet, and everyone is so awesome about that. I don't know why, but I am unbelievably thankful for it. Thank you so much. I hope people had fun talking. I hope people had fun lurking. Please know, regardless of how much you said in chat, your time is very, very, very important to me, and it means a lot that you spend it here. I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be for you. You guys are the best in the world. You really, really are. I appreciate all of you a ton. Please stay for the raid. Please. Don't embarrass me. We need as many people as we can going to this raid, because without you, then Jordan will see that I had low viewer numbers tonight, and then I'll be ashamed forever, and I'll cry. I'll cry, and you'll have made me cry. And really, there's not really a greater sin than that, making me cry. So please don't make me cry. Also, please just support one of my friends, like one of my really good friends. I know it's late. As many people as can make it over to Jordan's stream means a ton. Like, thank you so much to anyone who's sticking by. Make sure you're joining the raid. Please go raid. Hope you all have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be for you. You guys are the best in the world. I love every single one of you so very much. You guys can't see this, but I am doing finger hearts at the screen. Yeah, I really do appreciate all of you. And I'll see you all, hopefully, in the next stream. Yeah, we got very little time on the raid timer here. But goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Also, Chronic, thank you for the gifted sub to Geo King Shark. Geo King Shark, make sure you're saying thanks to Chronic. Enjoy the emotes, enjoy the sub badge. You now can actually use the Gerb Hypers emote. But I'll see you guys over there. Have fun. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.